about 15 on the return, is going to be Jaden Gillespie. So Gillespie's had a hand on a bit of the start offensive Mike right now, and they've got good field position. Very short kick to the 30. He returns it to the 42. Start with the football.
Yeah, Clyde kicked it to Spartans right, and they must have had a left return on.
They did.
He ran all the way across the field, was able to pick up some pretty good yards on that.
So I'm telling you right now, they want the ball in his hands. He's got to be a speedster or wide receiver. We have no heights and we have no weights, and then we'll let Brad Bannister start to size things up for us. Two receivers to the near side for start, and they're going to look to hand off, and it's to the outside and the up back, and that's going to be Martin Tucker. Nowhere for Mr. Tucker to go. He's going to get dropped for a loss of 3. Right now, Brad, your eyes on both teams. How do you match them up size-wise?
Just real quick here, John. Start definitely a little bit bigger, both in height and in weight, but you can just tell Clyde's defensive front very well refined right now. They seem to be moving really well.
2 to the near, 1 to the far side, back in the pistol, and Clyde's going to get drawn off sides as they jump on the hard cadence, and that will help make it 2nd down and 9 instead of 2nd down and 13-14. So the Flyers return the favor on that penalty, and again, will make it 2nd down. We'll call it 8. The ball spotted at the 44-yard line. Josh Young in the backfield right now at quarterback. Number 14, Josh Young. And there's a handoff trying to jet sweep to the outside, and Boyne get hit, nowhere to go. Oh, my Mike. That's one of those. I'm going to grab the jersey, and you're not going anywhere. He's going to get thrown. Again, that's Martin Tucker. He tried to come to the near side, Mike, nowhere to go. Who had that tackle?
That was Walker Britt. And Walker Britt, that's another tackle for loss for him. And that's going to give him his 3rd tackle for loss on the season. And he's one of the Clyde's best defensive linemen, although there's a number of other ones that are out there, but he's got a lot of experience. And he's been playing since he was a sophomore.
Loss of 5 back to the 39. It's 3rd down, and we're going to call it at least 13. 8:39 to go, back to throw. Looking. There's going to heat down the sideline. It looks like Brady Wilson's going to catch the interception. He's got the ball at the 20. He cuts to the near side. He's got a wall. He's at the 40. He's at the 50. He's at the 40. He gets by one block, and he gets hit and upended, but not until he gets to the 37-yard line. And the Clyde defensive backs had 2 interceptions, and here come the Flyers.
Yeah, and I tell you, that was a great return. Brady Wilson did a nice job of putting the ball in an outside hand and making sure that nobody's going to be able to strip that out of his hands. He ran through one of the defenders, and that was Jeremiah Belcher, who tried to get him down with an arm tackle, just tried to bump him with his shoulder, and Brady Wilson said, nope, that ain't going to happen. Got another 5 yards and putting Clyde in great field position.
So Corey Robinson started the game at quarterback, but it's been Josh Young in the junior, unless they've switched numbers on us, Mike. And what are we going to have here? Maybe an equipment issue. It looks like Jaden Gillespie is getting off the field.
And the coach doesn't seem like he knows what's going on over
there
either.
And Gillespie's coming off the field. I'm sure it's got to be an equipment issue, maybe some blood or something. I'm not sure. Coming on the ball field now, though, it's going to be Corvell Morgan. And he's a pretty good size linebacker out there. Again, Clyde with 1 receiver to the far side, 2 stacked here near us on the Clyde side of the stadium. In motion right now is going to be Cobble. Daniels just to the right of Cook. Cook looks, he snaps, he's back to throw. He's got time. He's going to flush out of the pocket, and he's going to throw it down the right sideline. It's going to be incomplete. Basically threw it out of bounds.
Yeah, nice job. I mean, it was covered well out there. There was 3 defensive backs that had 2 of the Clyde receivers covered up. And, we saw Cobble last time we did their game. Cobble's got a big thing on a big cast on his hand. He caught a 61-yard pass. So, that don't let that cast fool you, because he's able to catch some long balls.
2nd down and 10. Clyde up 7-0 with the ball at the 8:16 mark of this first quarter of play. Flyers have scored quickly this year. They've had quick starts. Again, 2nd and 10. Here comes Cook. Hands up to Daniels. He's going to get stopped, hit, and he's dropped right about the line of scrimmage. No gain.
Yeah, that was a nice job right there by Champ Zabrowski, who came in and just held his ground for a no gain.
So it'll be 3rd down and 10. Clyde quickly line of scrimmage. They want to press the action. Wilson here lined up near us, and 3 receivers to the far side. You got Cobble over there. Also Drake Goon. It looks like he's in the ball game. And also the one I've been waiting to get the ball to is Caden Olson. They haven't got it to him. They're going to throw it to him right now. He's going to catch it, and he drops it. That time maybe took a peek upfield. Olsen did. They got the little swing pattern, and they're going to go ahead and the punt bike, or are they going to take it on 4th down with the ball at the 38 of Start?
Well, I think probably this is a pretty good time for a quick kick
Mm-hmm.
and let Cook, Cook's been very effective as pinning them down inside the 10-yard line when he quick kicks.
Two to each side right now. Daniels to the right side of Cook. And right now, everybody up in the line of scrimmage. As they put Olsen in motion, and following him is going to be Gillespie. So it looks like they're playing man-to-man defense in the defensive backfield right now, Mike. Let's see if Cook has time to throw. He's back and looking. There's a rush. He's got it down the sideline. It's going to be caught. Oh, my. What a play. Wilson. Let's go down to Brad Bannister. Brad Wilson with a spectacular catch just shy of the goal line.
Oh, absolutely a great job by Brady Wilson and Jaden Cook with that throw. Just got it over the defense, and Brady was able to kind of lean back away from the defender and haul it in.
What a pass by Cook, Mike.
Yeah, and Davian Thomas was right there. He was all over him, but Wilson did a nice job of getting his hands on that ball.
Daniels with the ball. He had down. Do they give it to him? They do. Touchdown, Clyde. So in the Fremont floor covering red zone, Clyde takes no time. Daniels lunges into the end zone. Touchdown, Clyde.
Yeah, that's a great way to use that 4th and 10. Put it down there, and like I said, he was covered well. And Wilson did a nice job of being able to get his hands on that ball and hardly any separation at all, but haul it down for a nice big play.
Up for the extra point. Snap, hold, kick is up, and the kick is, give it to us, it's good. As again, Dickman converts. Well, your Fremont Athletic Supply in-game scoreboard now is Clyde 14, Start nothing, and that was at the 7:33 mark. It was a 5-play, 38-yard drive. So the Flyers took them about 2 minutes and 20 seconds to get both scores. And right now, in command here early, 14-0 over Start. So Brad Bannister on the sideline. Everything's working for Clyde.
Everything's worked really well, both on offense and defense. Everything's clicking. And we know it all starts offensive line up front, John, and that's really where things are taking place for Clyde.
So Clyde will kick off again. We'll see if we have any early game scores for you as we'll try to keep you updated. A lot of fireworks here early. Boy, Mike, when you have pregame festivities like we have, you expect a little bit of fireworks to happen. Well, 2 interceptions have turned into 14 points for Clyde.
Yeah, and that's one thing about a good team. They take advantage of the turnovers when they get it.
Now here's a deeper kickoff. It's going to bounce at the 15, fumbled around at the 15, 16-yard line, getting to the outside and somewhere to go, and breaking a few tackles and breaking down the right sideline. A nice return right now down the left sideline for Start. And I tell you what, Corvell Morgan broke 3 tackles and got down the sideline. This is the athleticism that Coach Carter talked about. Great field position for Start. They're going to have the ball to start right about the Clyde. It looks about the Clyde 41, 42-yard line.
But the only real effective play that Start has had on offense is when they got outside, got around the corner with their running game. Their passing game has been very suspect, obviously, throwing 2 interceptions. And, right now, I think what they're going to need to do is they're going to need to try to hit that perimeter a little bit more.
Like I say, he stepped out of bounds at the 50. A couple quick scores. Norwalk off of Edison, 7-0. Bellevue over Clear Fork, 20-0 in the first quarter. Here's the handoff. Left side, boy, they brought the big power back in. He breaks right through the line. And there's going to be a touchdown-saving tackle out there for Clyde. And that's by Jay Plummer. And they brought in the monster back that time, Mike. Let's see if we can get his number. Looks like number 28 for them, and that's Terrence Coffey. We'll let Brad Bannister size him up, but he looks like he's well over 6 foot and well over 200 pounds. And Clyde's going to jump again and move the ball forward. So it'll be 1st down and 5 at the Clyde 30.
John, he is a big fella, and he's really good for his size as well.
One thing that they did right there with that offensive line is they allowed the Clyde defensive line to come across a little bit and just got a seam.
Right.
And that is why Coffey was able to get that big run.
Couple more scores for you. Port Clinton over Boucher here early, 21-6. So there's a couple big scores here early. Columbian over Mayfield, 14-7. Again, another handoff. This time, not so lucky. The Clyde defense stiffens. There'll be no gain.
Yeah, that
Maybe they're going to give him maybe a yard, Mike, it looks like.
Yep, looks like about a yard. Blue Norman as well as Dylan Overmeyer from his linebacker spot came up to make that stop.
Fremont Ross 14-0 over Clay early. And that's kind of what we got. Okay. We'll let it keep going, and we'll keep you abreast. Right now, the quarterback is going to be Josh Young. And right now, biggest drive and movement by Start. Again, they're athletic and they're big. And right now, it's going to be Josh Young in the backfield. He's got Coffee to his right. He's looking to throw. He steps in the pocket. He's going to pick it up and run it. Well, that was a mistake. He's going to get dropped for a loss back to the 30-yard line.
Yeah, I don't know if you could put it any better than that, John. That was definitely a mistake because Walker Britt, again, have him in the backfield, just had him wrapped up. And if he would have thrown that ball, it could have been another interception for the Clyde Flyer defense.
Walker Britt he does not get beat. He has so many tackles behind the line of scrimmage, just another one for a loss. So it's going to be third down. We're going to call it 7. The ball's on the 30. 5:48 to go. Moving left to right is Start. Josh Young, quarterback, back to throw. He's going to throw a bubble screen, and it's going to be, they're going to break a tackle, but here come the Flyers, and getting tackled behind the 30 for a loss. Nice play coming up from the backside. Who was that?
That was Brady Wilson able to come up and make that stop.
It looks like Morrison was in on that tackle, too. So now the Clyde cornerbacks come in and throw them back. It's going to be 4th down and 8, and 2 negative plays that could have broke, Mike, if he would have cut inside, but he cut to the outside, and, well, there you go.
Yeah, he had one of his blockers that he basically ran into when he was running inside, so took it back to the outside where Brady Wilson was waiting for him.
They're going for it on 4th down. Look for something around the corners, Mike. They haven't done well up the middle except for one carry by Coffee when he first came in. Let's see if they try to sprint around the side. And back to throw. Looking across the middle of the field. He's going to be sacked. And good night as he gets dropped. And the Clyde defense throws him back to the 41-yard line, and they will turn it over on down. So, Mike, they went from the 50 to the 35. They went backwards.
Yeah, Walker Britt again, along with Jordan Lee, who was on the tackle as well. So they both had him wrapped up. And when you get those two big guys, Jordan Lee is 6'1", 243. Walker Britt is 6'2", 267. So when you get those two big guys wrapping you up, you're not going to go very far.
So the Flyers at their own 41-yard line, moving right to left. So that was a 6-play drive for Start, and they showed some momentum, Mike, but they just could not convert. It seems like their passing game is suspect, to say the least. So they're going to have to run the football. Here comes Clyde with 2 receivers to the near side. Daniels just to the left of Cook. Cook is they're going ahead and motion in somebody to the other side. Now 3 receivers to the right. They're going to hand off to Daniels. He gets to the outside, breaks one tackle, slides over to the 45-yard line. He'll pick up almost 5. We'll say 4. It'll be 2nd down and 6 at the Clyde 45.
Yeah, Marcus Ensley just kind of jumped on his back. But when he jumped on his back, Daniel was able to carry him for about another 3 yards.
Now Morrison comes into the ball game, and he's going to be in the slot right now, right near Wilson, who's split out far near this side. Now they're going to switch. And now they're bringing Cook out here. So Morrison going in at quarterback. So a little bit of wildcat, a little change up here. Abe Morrison at quarterback. Cook split out here to the right side. Morrison looking for it, and he's going to go ahead and keep it himself. He puts his head down, breaks a tackle, and he'll get maybe a yard to the 46. So just showing a little bit of wrinkle, Mike Martin, with that one.
Yeah, that's something that, is going to give other teams something to look at. And we saw Abe Morrison last year towards the end of the year when Cook was injured, and he did a pretty good job. He could throw the ball as well.
He's still in at quarterback. No, they move Cook back. Cook is a runner, too. They don't want him to run, but Cook can fly. If they can get the ball in his hands, here comes a man in motion quickly, is going to be Wilson to this near side, and he's going to stop here. 3 receivers in there. Wilson along with Olsen, and it also looks like it's going to be Griffin Nuss. They're going to throw it out here. Possession pass is going to be low. It will be caught, and it will be caught over here by Nuss. Very low to the ground, but now it's going to be 4th down and about 2 yards from the 40, we'll say the 49-yard line. They're going to say 4th down and 2.
Yeah, they're giving them quite a bit of cushion now in the secondary.
Cook looking, he's slapping his hands. I'm going to go down to Brad Bannister after this. He stands right behind the Clyde side and their bench. Here comes a man in motion quickly, and that's going to be Nuss again. And we're going to have a timeout. We're going to take a wild card timeout right here. 2:56 to go here in this quarter. It's 14-0 Clyde. We'll be back after this.
I loved playing high school sports. I loved the competition, the camaraderie, the bands, the crowds, all the pageantry, and I wanted to keep playing. But I graduated. No colleges called, and neither did the pros. So, to stay close to the game I loved, I decided to become a high school official. You know, a referee. When I played high school sports, I learned the importance of integrity, good sportsmanship, and respect for the rules. Now, as a high school official, I get to help model these same values to others. Maybe the colleges and the pros didn't call, but the kids in Ohio did. And now, I'm enjoying the competition, the camaraderie, the bands, the crowds, and all the pageantry of high school sports all over again.
Interested in becoming a licensed high school official? Go to highschoolofficials.com to learn more and begin the application process.
Fremont Federal Credit Union High School Football. 92-1 The Wolf. 92-1 The Wolf, WOHF.
All right, as we get back to action, Clyde brought in big number 36, Dylan Overmeyer, and they're going to run a little wing counter back around. And right before the snap, start call the timeout. So we want to let you know that obviously our timeouts are brought to you by Weldy Insurance Group and here tonight. And we're going to have a Wendy's player of the game. And Sunrise Cooperative, we haven't talked about them, but let's talk about them briefly, that they donate with every touchdown $100 to Fueling the Cure, thanks to Sunrise Cooperative. Fueling the Cure is a campaign for food-based research at The Ohio State University for those afflicted with cancer. For more information, log on to fuelingthecure.org. So, Michael, the last two games we've had with Clyde in their first quarters, they have scored points.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You know, they did score a lot of points in the first quarter, and then like the game at Ashland, you know, they weren't able to score in that second quarter, but you know, they obviously didn't need to. One thing that Clyde, if they can put on another score here, one more after that, and then the second half we'll have a running clock.
Cook under center. They're going to wing tee it. They're going to give to the right side and cutting up the middle. Did they get the first down? Boy, it depends. The far side judge. Let's go down. As it looks like they brought Miracle in for that. Or no, it was Bolger in that, and they are going to give him the first down. Yeah, very close, Brad Bannister.
Yeah, it looks like he got it by about a yard. A little late surge there by running back.
Picks up 3. First and 10, moving right to left. 2:42 going in the first quarter. 14-0. Clyde with your score. 2 receivers each side, and just to the left of Jaden Cook is obviously his number one running back, and that's Michael Daniels. Looks, Daniels, right side, head down. Boy, they tackle him low, and I tell you what, they've got good penetration right now in those quick dives, Mike, off the right and left guard. It's going to be a pickup of maybe 2, but they're not letting Daniels get loose.
No, Isaiah Davis kind of keyed off of Daniels right there, and he's playing linebacker, and he shot that gap right where Daniels was going, and did what he needs to do is tackle Daniels low, because when you hit Daniels up high, a lot of times you're just going to bounce off, and he's going to get another 4 or 5 yards.
Second down and 8, 1:56 to go in the first. 2 receivers on the near side, 1 on the far side. Daniels straight behind. Now here comes Dylan Overmeyer playing a bit of a wing back. And they're going to go ahead and pass. And Cook's looking. He wanted to go deep. There's nothing there, so Cook's going to take off and run. He's going to turn the corner and run out of bounds. And he gets drilled out of bounds. Drilled out of bounds by starting. That's going to be a 15-yard penalty. Clyde will have a first down.
Absolutely, yeah. He was well past on the sideline. You have a yellow
and blue.
And he was past the yellow, which is out of bounds, into the blue when he got hit. So, yeah, that's going to cause a penalty flag every single time.
He's going to run out of bounds at about, we'll say, the 43, and then with the penalty, that's why they don't want him running, but he had to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he had
moved the ball all the way down to the 30-yard line with the penalty.
No other choice right there than to try to break contain and get outside the round, which he was able to do, and then tack on another 15.
They did a little play action there, dive in the middle, thinking they could break one deep, but it's well covered. Again, you got great skilled players in that defensive backfield by start. So first and 10, Clyde. 2 receivers near. Here comes Overmeyer. He's on the left side now. Reset on the right side. Cook looking for the snap. He's back to throw the show and blitz. He's throwing down in the end zone. And it's going to be in and out of the hands of Griffin Nuss. Perfect pass. I tell you what, let's go down to Brad Bannister. Brad, Jaden Cook is throwing the ball on a dime.
Oh, he threw a great pass kind of over his outside shoulder. Griffin had to look back over his shoulder and just could not get it. His feet were in bounds, so it put it about exactly where he needed to.
Where only he could. That's a smart play. 2nd down and 10. Now Cook leans back and looks at his running back, says something to him, and he says, I'm going to give you the ball. And he does. He breaks up the middle, and he's going to get a big dive off the right tackle across the 25 down to the 22, pickup of 8.
Yeah, Jaden Gillespie, what they're doing is they're wrapping Daniels up around the ankles.
And here's another hand up, and Daniels is going to break for the first down. He's going to get down to about the 16-yard line, the pickup of 6. So, we're talking 14 yards and 2 carries of Daniels starting to heat up a little bit.
Yep, doesn't look like that ankle is giving him too much of a problem right now.
No, not so. So first down, Clyde. They are in the Fremont floor covering red zone. Quick snap. Here we go. Daniels up the middle. He's going to get hit, and he's going to get dropped. That time there was nowhere to go to start, just bunched up that left side of the Clyde offensive line.
Yeah, Marcus Ensley, defensive tackle. Marcus looks like, I don't know, Brad, maybe you can help me out with this. He looks like he's at least 260, 270.
Yeah, Mike, you got good eyes. He's a big fella down there, taking up a lot of space.
Clyde trying to work quickly. One receiver to the far side, 3 to the near. Wilson, Olsen, and also it looks like Nuss. Jaden Cook back at quarterback, standing at the 20, moving right to left. We've got 25 seconds to go here in this quarter. He's back to throw. He's looking. He's being blitzed. He's going to throw a screen pass. Oh, it was a crossing pattern right in the hands of Cobble. Cobble did not bring it in. And I tell you what, Cook really baited the blitzers, Mike. He did a great job to kind of, get them thinking he's dropping back farther, and they had a crossing route that was wide open.
Yeah, and that was a nice pattern by Cobble to come all the way across the field with nobody trailing him.
3rd and 10. Are they in a position where they're 4 and out, or would they ever try a field goal? I don't think we've seen them try a field goal yet this year.
No, we have not.
All right, 3 receivers now to the right side. Daniels to the right of Cook. Here to the near side is Wilson. Let's see if they go his way. Cook is looking for the snap. He does. He's rolling to this side. He steps in. He throws over here. Wilson's going to catch it. He's going to turn, and Wilson's going to keep his feet, but he does not get the first down. He'll get down to about the 11. It'll be a pickup of 5.
Yeah, Devian Tom was right there to make that stop to not allow Wilson to get any farther and get that first down.
That stops the clock. This has been a 13-play drive for Clyde. So the Flyers get the ball. They go down the field. The clock is stopped. And it's 4th down and 7. They will not kick. They will go for it. 3 receivers to the far side. And Wilson here to the near. Let's see if they try to isolate him in the corner. Cook looks at it. Here comes a man in motion. And that's going to be Olsen. And we will have a timeout. We'll keep it right here. We pay the bills. Let's go down to Brad Bannister. Brad, it looks like it's starting to cool off a little bit here. The wind's dying down a little bit. It should be very pleasant.
Oh, absolutely perfect. Like you said, just a little bit of wind, nothing major. Game note here, McCoy Dickman is warming up. It looks like he might be going in. He's got his tee, so I think he might have a field goal attempt.
Yeah, and, with the cooling down a little bit, our faithful over there in the motorhome behind the scoreboard, I'm sure that, they're staying warm. Look like they got some jackets on right now. And
they got a fire over there?
They got a fire going on.
No, I'm asking. Do they?
Oh, they do over behind
They
the
usually
house.
do, yeah.
Yeah. Well, hey, if they're over there listening, let them know that we're hungry up here in the booth. If they got any tailgating that they want to get rid of, we sure love to have some.
A hot dog would be good, huh?
Anything. All right, so the ball's going to be spotted at the near hash, and it's spotted at the 13. So if Clyde does decide to kick a field goal, it'll spot at the 20. It'll be a 30-yard field goal on from the left hash. Let's see if Clyde goes. Cook is coming on the field, and Coach Carter says, hey, I want my offense to get this first down. Olsen and Wilson to the right. Cobble and also Griffin Nuss to the near side. Here comes Jaden Cook. Nuss in motion. Cook looks. He stops. Calls the signal out. Again, 4th down and 7. And looking to throw. And then Cook is going to throw. That's a nice fake into the end zone. It's going to be incomplete. He got spooked a little bit. And what happened was they showed a little pressure, and he just didn't quite get settled. He threw it just a little too deep, but wide open. That was a little pump and go, Mike. And it was a good call. Just could not make it happen.
Yeah, right there, the Spartans were a man, straight up man-to-man. And with that pump fake, the defender on Olsen, he bit on that, and Olsen just went right past him. He was wide open in the back of the end zone. But like you say, Cook just could not make that connection.
Well, he saw the blitzer of the left eye, Mike, and it was kind of like they were showing like a bubble screen action, and then Olsen just cleared it. He was wide open. Just a little too deep. So both teams, Mike, we haven't had this happen yet this year. Both teams turned over downs in consecutive possessions. That was a 14-play drive for Clyde. This is going to be the last play of the first quarter, and they're going to go ahead and hand off and turn it around and trying to make something happen out here is the running back. And stiff arming him is Corbell Morgan, but getting dropped by Clyde for a loss back to the 10. They started this drive at the 14, and they're going to run back to the 10. Okay, we got one quarter in the books. It's Clyde 14, and it is start nothing. You're listening to Fremont Federal Credit Union High School football on the BAS Sports Network.
PT Services, your premier hometown therapy provider, is now open at 1800 West State Street in Fremont, Ohio. Their clinic offers physical, occupational, and speech therapies, along with specialized wellness programs that focus on the health and well-being of our community. They work hard to offer individualized care that helps you achieve your rehabilitation and wellness goals. Ask your doctor to send you to PT Services Rehabilitation, providing individualized care to give you excellence in motion. For more information, visit them at ptsrehab.com.
Hello, it's Pete with Sunrise. Fall is upon us. That means harvest season. Sunrise has the fuel to get you through this harvest. We have the fuel to get you through any season. Trust Sunrise to not only supply the fuel, but also know that our fuel has a premier additive package that keeps your equipment running on your demand. Quality fuel with a premier additive package will give you the confidence that your equipment will deliver the power you demand when you expect it. Call Sunrise for your on-road, off-road diesel, gasoline, and even kerosene needs. Sunrise Cooperative. Success grows here.
Fremont Federal Credit Union High School Football. 92-1 the Wolf. 92-1 the Wolf, WOHF.
All right, welcome back to quarter number 2. It's 14-0 on your athletic supply scoreboard here in Bishop Stadium. John Cullen, Mike Martin, Brad Bannister, and right now the Start Spartans, they're down by 2 scores, 14-0. Ball is spotted at their own 10-yard line, and they've got 2nd and 13. Handoff. It's going to be fumbled. It's going to be fumbled at the goal line, and let's see if it's recovered. Should be a touchdown for Clyde. Unless they called him down in the end zone, which would be a safety. What is it, Mike?
No,
it's
it's
a touchdown, Clyde. Brad Bannister, if you could, let us know who recovered that.
It looks like Dylan Overmeyer, Brad. Is that correct?
He's the one celebrating a lot, yes.
Boy.
What a way to get 7 points.
Yeah, that quarterback for Start was getting cow-tied from the back. You could see him, he got bent over, and I think his knees were on the ground, but he didn't have possession.
Okay.
And when they pulled him back, the ball was still loose, and that was a touchdown for Clyde.
Well, John, that's 3 scores off of 3 turnovers.
Wow. That's amazing. Yeah, you could see that Clyde bull-rushed up the middle, and he was like nowhere to go, and the ball's on the ground at the goal line. And the extra point is up. And it is good. So our in-game scoreboard, in a matter of 7 seconds, the Clyde Flyers score a touchdown. Mike, you're exactly right. 3 turnovers have turned into points. I think Coach Ryan Carter would like to see his team get the ball at the 20 and have a nice long drive and score.
Yeah.
And none of it's been that. It's been unconventional, but it sure is working.
Well, when they had the 1 4th down and were able to complete a nice pass to Wilson to get that big first down and them going and score, you know, that's something that I'm sure they're going to be looking at. Okay, we're not going to look at punting the ball.
No.
We've got good 4th downs right now that we can get, big yards on.
Absolutely. So Ryan Carter's going to have a different mindset. When you have big leads like this, the biggest challenge you're going to have is coming out of halftime and staying focused. So that's where coaching is so incredibly important, Mike, and we'll talk about that later. But right now, McCoy Dickman had a pretty good night. He's kicking all those extra points. Let's see if we can get a little deeper on the kickoff. And I'm sure they don't want to give the start players too much room to run, Mike, because we know that they can. So it's going to be a short kickoff. It's going to be hit and fumbled around, and it's going to be fumbled around the ground.
And it's Clyde ball.
And Clyde's got the turnover. And with the football throwing his hands up in the air, it looks to me like it's Hayden Rex, if I'm not mistaken. Who got that?
I think
Overmeyer
Dylan
again?
Overmeyer.
Yeah, it was Dylan Overmeyer on his third turnover of the night.
So Dylan Overmeyer is golden here tonight.
I'm telling you, that's 3 for him tonight.
You guys feel a deep pass coming?
I do.
You know, if they're going to come up on Brady Wilson, Devin Tomlin, if he, he's coming up tight and he's beat him a couple times tonight, this could be the third time he'll beat him.
And what do we have? Just a run up the middle for Daniels. It'll be a run for no gain. Now they'll say maybe a half a yard. The ball spotted at the 38-yard line. Guys, Clyde has scored at the 11:53 mark, and at the 11:40 mark, they're going to go ahead and get the ball back again, this time at the 38-yard line to start moving left to right. Overmeyer with that fumble recovery, and he got the fumble recovery in the end zone for the touchdown. So everything working for Clyde. And here we go. Cook is going to throw a little flare pass out here to Overmeyer. Catches it with one hand, but he gets hit and dropped. Really good defensive coverage by starting the backside. That's a heck of an effort by Overmeyer to catch it with one hand.
Yeah, Jaden Gillespie was able to come up and make that stop. I think if Overmeyer would have been able to catch that on the run, he would have been able to get quite a few more yards on that, but he was bobbling around, and Gillespie was able to come up and make the stop.
And third down and 9. So the start defense starting to show their athleticism, Mike, and definitely speed-wise. I mean, as a team, their team speed is really kind of good. Let's see what Clyde wants to do. They got Daniels to the left side, Cook standing at the 40, moving left to right. 2 receivers to each side, back to throw. Cook's looking. He's going deep down the right side. It's going to be Olsen, and he drops the ball. It was thrown a little bit low, but he slid for it. Let's go right down to Brad Bannister. Brad, was that catchable ball?
Absolutely catchable, but you did say it correctly, John. It was a little bit low, and he had to kind of dive down for it or kind of slide down for it, but definitely a catchable ball.
So, Mike, that's 2 times that Olsen's been able to beat his defender and been wide open.
Yeah, and one thing that the Clyde offensive line is doing, they're giving Cook plenty of time. It's not like he has to rush or he has to hurry up and deliver that ball. So, Olsen just kind of outran that pass, I believe.
So Flewelling into the ball game now for Olsen, senior. And we're going to have a timeout by Start. So we'll take a timeout here. 10:29 to go in the half. It's all Clyde so far. Clyde 21, Start nothing. We'll be back after this on the BAS Sports Network.
I'm here with Juan Vela from Fremont Athletic Supply, also girls basketball coach for Fremont Ross. Juan, what do you love about coaching?
I love the relationship I have with the kids and their skill level when they come in, and then watching the growth when they leave the program. They're just better people, better ball players.
And you coach youth sports now, too. What do you like about coaching the younger girls?
It's a different skill set, but it's, again, I see the passion, the love that they're starting to get in the sport.
Get in the game at Fremont Athletic Supply in downtown Fremont.
The holidays will be here before you know it. Are you and your home ready for hosting all that extended family, extended meals, and extended wear and tear on your floors? Get ahead of the holiday hustle. Right now at Lottich & Sons Flooring America, it's the family-friendly flooring sale. Save big before the holidays and get special financing. Shop in-store and online. When it comes to flooring, trust the place where friends send friends. Lottich & Sons Flooring America, 702 Stone Street in Fremont. Subject to credit approval, minimum monthly payments required. See store for details.
Fremont Federal Credit Union High School Football. 92.1 The Wolf, WOHF.
Right back to action. It's 4th down and 9 for Clyde. They're at the 36 of Start. Jaden Cook back. He's got time. He's throwing a bullet over here. It's going to be caught. Wilson gets it. Wilson with the juke move. He's down to the 10-yard line, and they went to Reliable. And that's Brady Wilson, and nice play between those two. Pitch and catch, 1st and goal at the 10 in the Fremont floor covering red zone.
Jalali Burnside was right there, but I tell you what, Wilson did a nice job of reaching his hands out in front of Burnside, be able to catch that ball and then get it quite a few extra yards.
When the receivers get the hands out, there's a handoff to Daniels going off the right side. He gets by the first blocker. He keeps his seat, and he's down at the 2. It'll be 2nd and goal at the 2-yard line. Brad Bannister right in front of you. Clyde sniffing the end zone.
Yeah, they're just pushing their way down, and it all starts up front again. They're controlling the line of scrimmage, giving Daniels enough room, and then, of course, Daniels runs really strong, very powerful, picking up a few extra yards every time he gets hit.
So Clyde threatening right now, second down and goal with 9:44 to go here in the half. Daniels right behind Cook. Look for Daniels to get the football. Tight formation, everybody in. Clyde likes to match up this way. Let's see if Jaden Cook maybe keeps it himself. Nope, they're going to go ahead and hand off to Overmeyer. Overmeyer's going to turn the corner. Does he get in? He does not, Brad Bannister.
They got him marked at about the half-yard line.
So they're a little, I consider that like a little wingback counter, right, Mike? And
yep.
Clyde doesn't do a lot of misdirection. It really wasn't a sweep, but it's out of the wingback position. Overmeyer, getting some action tonight on the ground game.
Yeah, and Corey Robinson was able to come up right into that hole and stack him up for no gain. Dylan Overmeyer on the season has only had 6 rushes for 98 yards. He's had 1 touchdown prior coming into this game.
They're showing second down and 1, but I thought it was third down. Let's see. Anyhow, 9:21 to go. Clyde threatening on the 1. Jaden Cook under center, tight double wing set. Daniel's the only running back right behind Cook, and he will get it, and he will stop. No, he's going to throw it in the end zone. It was a fake touchdown. Oh, what a great fake by Clyde. Who gets the pass? Looks to me like maybe the tight end. Brad Bannister, down to you.
Yes, Abe Morrison. Great job sneaking him out. They got the whole offense moving to the right. And as we've seen a couple times with Robbie Greenslade, Morrison sneaks out on the weak side, and then they just loft it kind of on the back end.
Yeah, that defense is definitely keen on Daniels. As soon as that fake was made to Daniels, they kind of collapsed down in the middle, and Abe Morrison was able to get wide open.
All right, Guzman with the extra point. A hold by Cook. There's a snap. There's a hold. The kick is up, and it is good. We'll keep it right here. So now your scoreboard, your athletic supply scoreboard, Clyde 28 and Start nothing. And right now, guys, I would have to say that the thing I'm most impressed about is not just the fact that Clyde's getting turnovers and converting them. I think Jaden Cook has grown into a very deceptive quarterback. And his play fakes and the way he's handling the offense is excellent. He's done a great job.
2 big 4th downs that he was able to convert on, which turned into points. And when you can do that, throwing the ball, running the ball, that is huge, especially off the turnover. So, Clyde is finding what they need to do to be able to keep things going. And, I'm not sure that we're going to see a punt out of the Clyde offense
today. No. All right, so getting ready to kick it off. Here's some updates on the Fremont Athletic Supply scoreboard. Bellevue 26-0 over Clear Fork. Ross 41-0 over Clay. Padua Franciscan over Sandusky 14-0. Norwalk 13-7 over Edison. Oak Harbor 21-0 over Woodward. Mayfield down to Columbian 14-10. And Margaretta Otto Hills tied at 0. No score yet from Vermillion and Scott. And that's where we're at. There's the kickoff. It's going to hit and bounce. It's going to be fielded at about the 22. Coming up with a football and getting up to the middle is going to be Martin Tucker. Martin Tucker is going to get stood up, and they will have the ball 1st and 10 at the 34-yard line of the Start Spartans. And right now, Mike, the Start Spartans, they need something to happen.
Yeah, they definitely need to try to test that perimeter a little bit more. They have not really done that.
Right.
And when they did,
well.
They were able to be a little successful at it. Their passing game is very suspect right now. 2 interceptions that turned into 2 scores for Clyde. So that's something that they're going to have to keep a little bit better pressure if they want to put the ball in the air.
So their Corey Robertson had been their quarterback, but they made the switch, Mike, and they've got Josh Young in at quarterback. And for whatever the reason is, Josh Young trying to get this offense rolling right now, but they do have the big running back, Terrence Coffey, to his left. And back into the ball game again, Jaden Gillespie. He's been one of their key players, and they're looking to throw. They're going to flare it out here. Bubble screen coming up, and caught and tackled for loss. That's some disciplined defense right there, Brad Bannister.
Dylan Overmeyer again all over the field tonight. Just read that play, came up, made the tackle behind the line of scrimmage on that little screen pass over to the right.
Yeah, there was no faking Dylan Overmeyer out on that. As soon as he saw the quarterback turn his shoulders to the receiver, he was coming up, charging right up. So it was like a catch and tackle.
So coming out here to the near side, Jaleel Burnside. Now he's going to switch to the other side. 3 receivers here to the near side, Davison Tucker and also Gillespie. And rolling, looking for something to happen. Boy, being held right there. The quarterback is going to take off and run, and he's going to get hit and dragged down. He'll pick up a few yards, and he'll get about to the 36, so he'll pick up 4 on that scramble. But good coverage by the Clyde defensive backs, Mike.
Yeah, they're just manning up. They got a 1-3 safety kind of rolling back. And that time, Blue Norman again was able to hold him down from behind.
Port Clinton all over Bowsher, 42-6 in the first half of play. Port Clinton's an offense. They're good.
They have some athletes.
Now we're going to see 3 receivers on the far side. Of course, the running back, Terrence Coffey, he's going to be to the right of Josh Young. He's looking to throw. He's one-on-one right here. He's throwing a deep seam pattern right here. It's going to be incomplete. Great coverage on the backside. Tell you what, Jay Plummer had picture-perfect coverage right there against that receiver.
Yep, kept his hands down, didn't interfere with the receivers. As soon as the ball got there, he put his hands up to where the ball was at.
Well, Plummer's got wheels.
Yeah, he ran stride for stride. And one thing that Spartans have to do, they have to protect a little bit better. I mean, that rush, and I'm not sure if they're capable of doing that because that defensive line from Clyde, they're putting solid pressure on every single time he's dropping back.
7:35 to go in the first half of play. It's Clyde 28 and Start nothing. And we're going to see our first punt of the ball game. And looking, there's a high snap. It's over its head. It's rolling. Here come the Fliers. We got tackle for a loss down to the 15-yard line. Who with that tackle, Brad Bannister?
That was Cobble coming up with the hit.
Wow. So Clyde is going to get the ball at, the 15-yard line, and that was a bad snap.
Well, maybe that's why we haven't seen them punch.
We haven't seen any punts.
No.
So Clyde at the 16-yard line again in the Fremont floor covering red zone.
Second time in a row they've got it in the red zone. Is that correct? After that.
Yeah. Well, they got the recovery for a touchdown.
Right.
In the red zone. Got the other one at the 38. My goodness. The wheels are falling off for the Start Spartans right now, trying to find a way to keep Clyde back. So Morrison in a quarterback. He's looking. He's going to flop one over the crossing pattern. It's going to be caught. Like we talked about that crossing pattern. It's going to be pickup of just a couple yards. But it will get the ball down to about the 15. And now Morrison getting some action. The ball was spotted at the 17 to start this play. It's a pickup of 2.
Yeah, Devian Tom was able to run Cobble down that time. He was able to hang on to it when he came across.
Wilson coming off the field with the left arm kind of hanging right there. Let's see if that's an issue. 2 receivers on the near side. Looking for the snap. It looks like Cook's back in at quarterback. Is he? I can't see Mike. Or is that still Morrison? No, Cook there. Okay. Man in motion. Handoff up the middle. Straight up the middle. With a hand. And they're getting near down to the 2-yard line. Great run by the Flyers. And, again, it's kind of hard from this side to see that. But I believe Daniels with the run. He's going to pick up almost 15. And he's dropped at the 2-yard line.
Yeah, did a nice job of just finding that seam. Made a nice cut to the left.
Nice cut to the outside, Mike. Yep. Very much so. So the Clyde offense threatening again. First and goal at about the 3. 6:28 to go. Trying to throw another score on the board. So a game that started out late and kind of had a slow first quarter could very well pick up speed in the second half of play. Here comes a man in motion. Here to the near side, getting set. Is Cobble. Here's Cook looking. He's going, oh, nice pitch and catch. Touchdown. Boy, talk about that pattern, Mike Martin, and how he ran that.
Oh, that was a sweet pattern. He just put his foot in the ground. And as soon as
slant.
As soon as he did that, Jaden Gillespie, he fell to his knees. And he got his feet all tangled up, went down, and that was a nice pitch and catch right there.
Who did catch a touchdown, Brad Bannister?
I did not see it. It's on the far side, so I did not see it.
I believe that was Griffin Knopfs.
All right. So he went and showed slant. Clyde's showing an extra point, and then cut to the pylon, Mike. A perfect pass of play. Extra point. And Guzman's perfect here tonight. Clyde 35. And Start 0 here with about 6:08 to go. In this quarter, the Flyers go 3 plays. and 17 yards. So let's look at this. First possession by Start, interception by Overmeyer at 11-7 mark. Clyde goes 6 plays, 22 yards, and Daniels gets a 5-yard touchdown at 9:52. Then there's an interception by Wilson at the 8:33 mark, and 5 plays, 38 yards at about a minute later, and Daniels with another touchdown. Then Start turns it over on downs. Clyde goes long play, turns it over on downs. Clyde gets the ball, and Overmeyer gets the bad. Well, actually, there's a fumble by the quarterback at the end zone. Overmeyer gets the touchdown in the end zone. Then they fumbled the kickoff. Overmeyer got that. And then Clyde came back with Morrison getting the 1-yard pass. The extra point good, 20-0. And then on the backside, another punt snap that went bad. Clyde got on the 17, and they go 2 plays and score. So Clyde has been in the back end of Start's side of the field, Mike, all night long.
It has been all by miscues by Start. I mean, they've handed the ball over to Clyde, and every time Clyde puts it in the end zone.
There's the end-over-end kickoff. It's going to be fielded on the run at the 15 to 25 to 30. Boy getting a break to the outside and showing some speed, but getting tripped up at the 40. And they'll be tackled at the spot about the 41-yard line for Start the Spartans. The Spartans' field position has been at their own 32, their 42, at the 50, at the 14, and at here the 40, at the 34 and 41. So they have pretty good field position all night long.
Oh, they have had good field position. They just can't get anything going offensively. And, you know, when they try to put the ball in the air, that pressure from Clyde defensive line is just way too much for them to be able to handle.
Clyde at the start 22, at the start 38, at the start 41, at the, touchdown, at the start 38, and the start 17. Clyde's not started a drive on their side of the field all night tonight. So Josh Young at quarterback, looking to throw. He's back. He's running to the outside. No, they got a new quarterback in there. Going to throw it away. It's going to be caught. Is it complete? And they are going to give it to him. A new quarterback in there right now is Isaiah Davis. He's a senior. Be a third quarterback we've seen tonight for Start, and he will make a completion for no gain to the 40.
Yeah, one thing that he had to do, he threw that wide. He was backpedaling.
Showed some arm strength there. So it's be second down and 10. Start with 5:55 to go in the ball game. That's got to be hard, Mike, to come in. You're the third quarterback. How much repetition and timing do you have with the receivers, really? So 3 receivers in the near side. They're going to throw the ball all night long. Looking. He's looking over the backside. He's going to be flushed out of the pocket. He's going to run. He's going to get contained, and he's going to be dropped. And, again, another tackle for a loss, and this will be to the 37. Who had that, Mike?
That was Logan Holmler that was able to come in and make that stop. I tell you, he did a nice job as far as just holding his ground and not allowing, anything to get outside of him and make that stop.
I think Clyde's trying to rotate some players in right now.
That's one thing, like I said, the pressure from that Clyde defensive line, they just have no answer for that.
Isaiah Davis at quarterback, 3 receivers in the near side. He's got the big back coffee next to him. We haven't seen him get the ball at all. They're looking just deep, and he's going to throw it over the middle. It's going to be intercepted. Oh, what a play. What a play. Let's go down to Brad Banster. Did you see that one, Brad?
That is the tip drill in action right there. That
Who
ball
got
was
that
tipped
interception?
Up. Number 42.
Oh,
that's Chance Miracle.
Chance Miracle. The ball hit off his helmet. Was it his helmet, Brad?
Yep.
And then it went in front of him, and then he kept it to intercept it. Miracle into the ball game. Of course, like I said, Clyde's starting to substitute some people in here, getting some playing time. Miracle is backup running back. And don't be surprised if we don't see him in the ball game.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised down here looking at Brady Wilson if he doesn't have a little stinger maybe in his shoulder.
Yep. So Clyde's got the ball for the first time on their end of the field at the 48. Handoff up the middle, and it will be a pickup of maybe 3 to the 49. Pickup of 3. Daniels with the ball. 4:40 to go. Clyde up 35 to nothing. No. Quickly, here come the Flyers. And they're going to run some clock, Mike.
Oh, yeah.
Let that play clock go down a little bit. 3 receivers on the near side. Don't look for them to throw the ball. Well, guess what? They're going to throw the ball. And it's going to be incomplete, and I think we're going to have a hold by Clyde here.
Absolutely.
Jaden Cook, that's the first time they got their hands on him. Mike.
Yeah, and that was a blitz that they brought. So the linebacker that came through was able to get a lot of pressure on. That was Corey Robinson, and he had to get a little hands on. Got held a little bit.
So you've been calling Corey Robinson for start, and I mean he's making some good plays on defense. Obviously lost his quarterback job. It's going to be personal foul against Start. Oh my! So Brad Banser, maybe a face mask of some kind.
Yeah, it has to be a face mask. I don't know what else it would be. I didn't see anything else other than he grabbing Cook.
Wow, I tell you what, where that flag came down at, you would
think it was holding.
Say it's got to be holding right there.
I was with you, Mike. That's exactly what I thought it was. He threw it kind of right in the middle of the whole line.
So Clyde will have it 1st and 10 in Start territory. 4:18 up 35-0. If you're a coach and you look at what they keep track of, Mike, keep track of penalties, keep track of, your offensive balance and who won the turnover balance. And Clyde's one of here. Here comes Daniels. The boy's got big run to the left side. He turns on the 20, gets to the outside. 10, 5, into. Did he get it? They're going to drop him at the 1.
That was a nice job out there by Andrew Cobble to stalk block that corner to allow him to get all the way down to the 1 yard line, because that corner was there at about the 10, and Cobble did a nice job of getting that block.
Here they go, and Cook's going to keep it and try to get in the end zone. He's going to get dropped out. No, is that Morrison back on the ball game? It's so hard to see right now from this side. No, Cook was at quarterback, and I think that was a muffed handoff is what that was.
Yeah, we haven't seen a whole lot of that where Cook just fakes it and goes around the outside.
Yeah, I think that might have been a handoff that didn't happen. But Morrison is coming into the ball game right now. So Clyde's got his 2nd and goal at the 3. 3:36 and counting here. Of course, stay tuned for our halftime show. Here comes a man in motion. They're going to go ahead and keep it. They're going to go ahead quarterback camp out the outside. This time they're going to give it to Jaden Cook. Said, listen, it didn't work on the left side. We're going to take it to the right side. This time they faked everything left, and it's a little quarterback scamper around. Touchdown, Clyde.
Yeah, that was a design misdirection play where everything went to the left, and Cook did a nice job of concealing that ball, bringing it around the right end. There was nobody there. He just had to put the wheels on it and get into the end zone.
So the Flyers, an offensive explosion here tonight. Boy, the last 2 times we've had them, the first half, they have been scoring almost at will. There's a snap. Cook puts it down. The kick is up. The kick is end over end, and the kick is good. You'll take a wild card timeout. Clyde all over. Start. Clyde 42, Start nothing. We'll be back after this.
I loved playing high school sports. I loved the competition, the camaraderie, the bands, the crowds, all the pageantry, and I wanted to keep playing. But I graduated. No colleges called, and neither did the pros. So, to stay close to the game I loved, I decided to become a high school official. A referee. When I played high school sports, I learned the importance of integrity, good sportsmanship, and respect for the rules. Now, as a high school official, I get to help model these same values to others. Maybe the colleges and the pros didn't call, but the kids in Ohio did. And now, I'm enjoying the competition, the camaraderie, the bands, the crowds, and all the pageantry of high school sports all over again.
Interested in becoming a licensed high school official? Go to highschoolofficials.com to learn more and begin the application process.
Fremont Federal Credit Union High School Football. 92-1 the Wolf, WOHF.
All right, here's the kickoff by Clyde. Nice return by Start, keeping his feet moving. And this time getting some yardage. Martin Tucker got the ball about the 20 and all the way up to the 45-yard line. So Start with the ball at the 45. We just got an update over it, and I got someone spotting at the Port Clinton game. Right now, 55-6 at half, Port Clinton. Port Clinton can score the football.
Oh, yeah, they definitely can. Well, so can the Clyde Flyers, but one thing here is that every single time Spartans have gotten good field position here. I mean,
they've had good field position all night long. The 41, the 45,
I'm telling you.
the 34, I mean,
Now you start on the 45
32,
yard
the
line
42.
Yeah.
Hey, John, with that
50?
with that coffee run, is that the only first down Starts had?
Boy, no, I think they had one by penalty. but yeah, that's the only big offensive play they've had is that big 15-yard run by Coffee. So Clyde's showing something different. They're going to throw it out here. It's going to be a bubble screen. It's going to be high caught and being brought down and tackled. Nice defensive coverage by the Flyers. Again, the Flyers have a lot of different players getting in on the ball game, but that was Morrison coming over. Morrison's showing really good athleticism there. Held that pass play, just pick up a 3 to the 48.
And that was a nice job of coming from that linebacker spot to be able to get out there. And
he was on the left side and had to come over while the play was happening, Mike.
That's a long way to go.
Man-to-man coverage. Looking to throw, rolling out right, trying to get some time on throwing on the run, almost intercepted, and Overmeyer almost had another one. Right through his hands. Now this time what they're doing, guys, is Start is taking Isaiah Davis, and they realize we're not getting anything out of the pocket. We're rolling our quarterback out to see if, one, we can do something with it, or two, he needs to run.
And the thing that Clyde is doing, they're not letting him break contain.
No.
So, you can try to roll him out as much as you want, but he's going to run right into one of those defensive linemen.
Isaiah Davis looks like he's about 6'2" right now, a pretty good built kid. He's straight back to throw. He's going to step out. He's going to throw it across the middle. It's going to be caught, and they're going to get a first down. And Clyde playing a bit of a prevent defense right now. The ball to the 42, 1st and 10. And it's one of the first downs tonight. We were talking offline. I think Starts maybe had 2 or 3 at the most. So with that in mind, it'll be 2:25 to go. Clyde up 42-0. Passing every play and showing blitz and running his side is going to be the quarterback keeper. He's going to have another first down. He's scrambling, good blocking out there, and he runs into a defender, keeps his feet moving. He takes it all the way down to the 15, guys. That was a pickup of about 27, and that was Isaiah Davis.
Like you said, John, they're trying to roll him out, and he did not break contain, but he was able to cut it back into the middle of the field where there was some room.
Right.
And then he just showed his athleticism and picked up those big yards.
Biggest play of the night for the Start Spartans. Trying to get on the board here. They don't want to be shut out in this first quarter. 42-0. They're behind. Isaiah Davis at quarterback. He's looking and going to hand off to Martin. Martin just through the middle line, and boy, just not where to go there. Pick up about half a yard maybe to the 14.
Yeah, Walker Britt again calling his name to make that stop.
136 and counting. Star's got those athletic players, Mike, and if they get in the open field, they can really do some damage, and that's pretty much what's happened here tonight the few times that they have excelled offensively. Davis back to throw. He's stepping. He's looking left. He's looking left. Thrown in the end zone. It's going to be intercepted. And with the football, here comes Clyde with a good block. It could be and it's going to be who with the interception? That Olsen playing center field. And Olsen with one block could have cut the corner and been gone. So another interception. This time it's going to be Olsen with the interception at 111.
Yeah, that ball was just overthrown. I mean, he had a receiver that was semi-open in the middle of the field, but he overthrew that right into Olsen's hands.
And the ball will be spotted at spotted right about the 17, 18-yard line, 1st and 10, Clyde.
Yeah, 1:11 left to go. I'm not sure that Clyde's going to do a whole lot.
No. They're going to take a play and let things run out. 42-0, your score here. Boy, a big offensive and defensive effort by the Clyde Flyers tonight. If anybody wondered if Clyde's getting any better, I can tell you, yes, they are. So they're going to take a knee and let the next 20-some seconds cling off here. Nope, for the 40. And it's 104, 105. Now kick the clock going. So maybe one more time, Mike.
Yeah, take one more knee. And
so now your goal here for if your start is how can we get in the end zone and get some points? If your Clyde says how do we not, one, get hurt? How do we not let up and put ourselves in a position here? Because you do, even though this game is pretty well in control, you do not want to start losing your focus. So I'm sure Clyde's going to show a lot of younger players are going to get a lot of playing time during that running clock part of the second half. So while this last 35 seconds are going, we'll give you scores here. Bellevue right now is 34-7 at the half over Clearfork. Fremont Ross 48-0 in the second. Columbian 21-10 at half. Sandusky down by 14. Norwalk 13-7. Port Clinton 55-6 at half. 34-0 Oak Harbor over Woodward. Tied at half, Margaretta, Ottawa Hills. And that is your scoreboard here tonight. We're in halftime. It's all Clyde. Clyde 42 and Start nothing. Stay tuned. You're listening to Fremont Federal Credit Union High School Football. 92.1 The Wolf, part of the BAS Sports Network.
Give your home the makeover it deserves at Fremont Floor Covering. Their knowledgeable staff can show you the many floor covering options available. Carpet, vinyl, waterproof flooring, laminate, hardwood, and ceramic tile. Fremont Floor Covering has over 150 carpet and vinyl remnants to choose from. Schedule for a quality professional installation or do it yourself. Quality floor covering at affordable prices since 1997. 12 months, same as cash available. Fremont Floor Covering, near the corner of North Front and State Street.
Hello, it's Pete with Sunrise. Man, I love this time of year, but I also love heat when I want it. At Sunrise, we monitor our tanks via a satellite. Yes, that's right. We know exactly how much propane is in your tank. That means we know when to fill your tank back up before you're in any threat of running out. With Sunrise, you can rest assured you will have heat when you want it. So call Sunrise, get set up with your propane needs, and enjoy the season. Sunrise Cooperative. Success grows here.
Fremont Federal Credit Union High School Football. 92.1 The Wolf. 92.1 The Wolf, WOHF.
From the Ohio News Network, this is the Ohio Education Association Tonight in High School Football. Named Best Sports Program in the Country by the National Association of State Radio Networks. Tonight in High School Football is presented by Beck's Hybrids. Now here's your host, Skip Mossick.
And welcome everyone into Tonight in High School Football's halftime reports. From time to time, we like to visit with affiliate stations from various parts of the state and talk some high school football in their area. This evening, we head to Southern Ohio to chat with Jason Filial in Ironton. Jason joins us next on the Ohio News Network.
Farmers at heart. At Beck's, that's who we are. For over 100 years, the Beck family has lived and farmed in central Indiana. Today, we're proud to serve a dedicated community of farmers in Ohio. To us, helping farmers succeed means so much more than just being a great seed supplier. Our family of employees and dealers are committed to helping farmers seek new challenges, push boundaries, and innovate in an ever-changing industry. That's what makes Beck's different. We love what we do. We are and will remain farmers at heart.
I'm Scott DeMauro, president of the Ohio Education Association. I'm proud to bring you tonight's game on behalf of OEA's 123,000 members. We teach in the public schools and state universities. We drive your kids to school, serve them lunch, and keep our schools clean and safe. We also coach the teams on the field. We're committed to making sure every student has the opportunity to experience the joy of learning and to succeed, regardless of where they live or their family's income. We believe in great public schools for all students.
Hi, I'm Nick Cray, CEO of Fremont Federal Credit Union. We are proud to sponsor high school sports on Eagle 99, 92.1 The Wolf, and 100.9 Coast Country. Investing our communities and our youth are what we're all about. Whether it's for the community we live in or guiding people with the biggest financial decisions of their lives, we believe in people helping people. Investing in our communities and our youth is what we're all about. Visit us today at fremontfcu.com. Membership eligibility required, federally insured by the NCUA.
Planning ahead just makes sense. Let Hanneman Chudzinski Keller Funeral Home help give you peace of mind. They understand and want you to know that by making arrangements in advance, they can help you create a celebration of a lifetime and spare your family unnecessary stress. Get started today with a free booklet filled with funeral planning information and ideas. Call or visit them at HannemanFH.com. Hanneman Chudzinski Keller Funeral Home. They've expanded their family to better serve yours.
Fremont Federal Credit Union High School Football. 92.1 The Wolf. 92.1 The Wolf, WOHF.
This is Tonight in High School Football on the Ohio News Network. Once again, here's Skip Mossick.
And welcome back, everyone. Halftime of your game. We're joined this evening by Jason Filial, longtime voice of the Ironton Tigers. And Jason, thanks for your time. For people who have not been to a high school game down there in Lawrence County, tell everybody what Friday nights are like down in your part of the state.
Hey, Skip, thanks for the invite. Yeah, Down in Ironton, it's different. It's one of those things where if you drive down the streets of Ironton, you see all the kids out in the front yard playing football before the game. You see all the houses decorated in orange and black, and people talk about it 24/7. I mean, you can go down the street, go down to the hardware store, and people are talking about Friday night's game and what happened this past week and what's coming up this week, and it's just something different. It's a lifestyle, and of course you're playing in a very historic stadium, Tanks Memorial Stadium, where they had semi-pro football that eventually merged with the Portsmouth Spartans and went on to Detroit to form the Lions. So football is a way of life down here in Ironton.
And Ironton off to a 3-0 start, highlighted by a fantastic finish in Week 2 against Jackson. Crazy lateral play on a kickoff in the closing seconds to win the game. You've been calling games for a long time, Jason. What was that finish like for you?
Skip, there was nothing like it, and I was trying to think of maybe something that compared to that, and I couldn't do it. That's the craziest ending to a high school football game I've seen. Jackson kicks a field goal with 1.4 seconds left, and as you're calling the action, you think, all right, they're just going to kick it to a lineman up front. This game's going to be over, but it gets by, and there's pitch number 1 and pitch number 2, and then all of a sudden Ty Perkins runs around the right side. He has a little room, and then he beats the kicker, and it was crazy. I mean, the stadium went nuts, and you could see taillights of people that had already left the stadium thinking it was over. They're going to tell everybody they were there at the game, but we know that some of them did leave a little bit early. Just the craziest finish. And then they turn around the very next week. They have another walk-off. They beat Fairland in overtime after stopping the Dragons on their series with a fumble. Ironton scores on a 10-yard touchdown run, so it's 2 straight weeks with a walk-off. 2 crazy weeks at Tanks Memorial Stadium.
Ironton, a traditional Division V power. Kind of an interesting matchup tonight. I know you're at halftime, but hosting Cincinnati Moeller. We asked this question earlier in the season if the expanded playoffs would help with this sort of matchup, because you don't often see a D5 going up against a D1.
You really don't, especially when the D1 is coming to the D5 in Ironton. I think it's the first time ever that a GCL team has come to Ironton or the area for that matter. And yeah, maybe it does have something to do with it, but, Coach Trevin Pendleton at Ironton says, look, we want to build our program and play anybody, anytime, anywhere. They picked up a game last year with Cincinnati Sycamore, who came down when we had a COVID cancellation, and now, look, they just want to keep improving and see where they stand right now. And obviously, this is a good measuring stick because Moeller is back, and they're 3-0, and they're scoring 40 points a game, and this is a huge challenge. But, yeah, you're right. With the expanded playoffs, you do have that opportunity to see where you do stand because 16 teams are getting in. And if you take a loss, I'm not saying that either team is going to lose or Ironton's going to lose. I'm just saying that if you take a loss, at least you know where you stand. You can still make the playoffs.
We know football is very solid there in Southern Ohio. Besides Ironton there in D5, other teams off to a good start. Portsmouth's 3-0, and Wheelersburg is always going to be good.
Yeah, Wheelersburg lost to Ironton in Week 1, 40-6, but they've turned around. They've had a couple of really good wins. They beat Chillicothe 26-3. They beat Russell, Kentucky, who was undefeated at the time, and handled them pretty well at home. Now, they did have another Kentucky opponent scheduled this week, but that was canceled because of COVID. I think they've got a pretty good stretch coming up here in the next couple of weeks. They'll go to Jackson. They travel to Menford. Both those teams are 2-1. Coach Rob Woodward just continues to churn out win after win and good year after good year. I think this Wheelersburg team is going to be one to contend with. And you mentioned Portsmouth. My goodness, what a great start they are off to. 3-0, led by their quarterback, Drew Rowe, who's completed 67% of his passes. He's thrown for over 700 yards and 8 touchdowns. And that's going to be a good team to watch here in the next coming weeks as well.
The other school crossed town down to D6 is Rock Hill, unbeaten, but heck, they've only played one game.
Yeah, they have played one game. First 2 games got canceled because of COVID, and we're seeing that throughout the state. I know Colegrove had the same issue in the OVC. South Point in the OVC has had a game canceled because of COVID. But look, they're 1-0, and Coach Mark Lutz likes the way his team is playing this year. They've play Portsmouth this week, so that'll be a good challenge for them, but that's a good football team as well.
Always love talking high school football from folks from different parts of the state. Jason Filial, longtime voice of the Ironton Tigers. We appreciate your time. You stay safe, okay?
Great to talk to you, Skip. Thanks a lot.
And we'll be right back on the Ohio News Network.
Bex recognizes this week's player with heart, Avery Stump from Mohawk High School, for his commitment and passion on the field and within the farming community.
Football, you don't have to be naturally skilled. I mean, you got to be tough. If you're tough, you will succeed. That's just how it is. I mean, you can learn things over time. But if you're a tough boy, you'll go farther than what you will in, I think, any other sport.
Avery and his teammates love the game, and they're playing the role of underdogs this year.
Oh, I mean, we knew we were half decent. We were better than anyone was saying about us, and we just thought, well, why don't we just go out there and prove them wrong instead of just saying, oh, yeah, well, we are small.
So he's been winning on the field and the farm.
There's nothing better to me than being able to, one, raise an animal and knowing exactly how to make that animal good, and then watching it grow and working with it, and then taking it to a show and kicking everyone's butt.
At Beck's, we are and will remain farmers at heart.
My job is to ask you about life insurance. Please don't make it my job to tell your family you didn't have any. At Welty Insurance Group, they're here to put your mind at ease with life insurance that will work with you for a policy that has your family's future covered. Life insurance is because you love them. Our family protecting yours. Welty Insurance Group, representing Erie Insurance. Call today, 419-334-4477.
Crown Battery, locally owned and operated, is pleased to support tonight's teams and takes this time to wish them luck for a successful season. The staff at Crown Battery recognizes the importance of teamwork both in and out of the classroom. That is why everyone at Crown Battery is a proud sponsor of not only tonight's broadcast, but a proud sponsor and contributor to our community, its athletic programs, and its educational infrastructure. Good luck and thank you from all the staff at Crown Battery, supplying you power since 1926.
Fremont Federal Credit Union High School Football. 92-1 the Wolf. 92-1 the Wolf, WOHF.
This is ONN.
Our thanks once again to Jason Filioff from our Ironton affiliate for joining us tonight. Enjoy the second half of your ball game. I'm Skip Mossick on the Ohio News Network.
This has been the Ohio Education Association Tonight in High School Football, presented by Beck's Hybrids from the Ohio News Network.
Hi, this is Jen from Sunrise Cooperative. Since 2009, we have been a proud supporter of Fueling the Cure. The Fueling the Cure initiative is for research at The Ohio State University to help find experimental medicines and foods to benefit people afflicted with cancer. Without our customers, this initiative would not exist. And thanks to you, we have donated over $1.5 million. Every propane delivery is another dollar donated to the cause. Call us at 419-668-3955. Fueling the Cure with Sunrise Cooperative. Success grows here.
Wendy's Baconator is too legendary to describe with ordinary words.
It is impossible.
With a half pound of fresh, never frozen beef,
those sizzle squares are hot and juicy,
and 6 strips of Applewood smoked bacon,
waves of smoky crispers.
It deserves a word of its own. Like you don't just eat a Baconator.
Nah, man, you Baconate.
Swing by Wendy's and Baconate with a Baconator. It's waiting for you.
Fresh beef available in the contiguous U.S., Alaska, and Canada.
ACJ Overhead Door of Fremont are your installation and service experts, specializing in both residential and commercial garage doors and operators. Don't risk trying to do the repairs yourself, especially when it comes to broken springs. Let the professionals at ACJ take care of that for you. If you're looking to upgrade your garage door, ACJ offers a full line of doors from economy to premium to fit any budget, with free estimates on installation. ACJ Overhead Door, serving Sandusky and surrounding counties. For more information, call 419-341-6586 or online at acjoverheaddoor.com.
PT Services, your premier hometown therapy provider, is now open at 1800 West State Street in Fremont, Ohio, offering physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech pathology, and wellness programs that focus on the health and well-being of our community. Their staff is dedicated to providing expert care as they help you achieve your goals. Ask your doctor to send you to PT Services Rehabilitation, providing individualized care to give you excellence in motion. For more information, visit them at ptsrehab.com.
Fremont Federal Credit Union High School Football. 92-1 the Wolf. 92-1 the Wolf, WOHF.
And welcome back to Robert J. Bishop Stadium here in Clyde, Ohio. The score at halftime, the Clyde Flyers 42 and the Start Spartans nothing. What a big first half for the Clyde Flyers. Mike Martin, I think so we don't have to wait. I want to go to you with some numbers if we can, but it's all about the turnovers. And the Clyde Flyers, let's see, I'll pick it for you. There's one interception. There is a fumble for a touchdown. There's a fumbled kickoff. There's another interception here later in the ball game. Another interception, 3 interceptions, 2 fumbles. Clyde 42-0. And the numbers, Mike, I think will tell us the tale of the tape. And I'm going to get a little light on this situation here so that you can read those numbers. But all Clyde so far.
Yeah, it is. And first down, Start had 4 first downs. Clyde had 15 first downs. Net yards rushing, Start had 62. Clyde had 108. Net yards passing, Start had 8 yards. Clyde has 74 yards. So total net yards, Start has 23. Clyde has 175. Start turned the ball over twice on fumbles. Clyde has not fumbled the ball and turned it over. Start threw 4 interceptions, and Clyde had 75 yards on those interceptions, and each one of those were turned into scores for Clyde. So time of possession, pretty close, which doesn't really mean a whole lot right now when you got the score 42-0. Start had the ball for 10 minutes, 24 seconds. Clyde had the ball for 13 minutes and 36 seconds. Individuals for Toledo Start rushing the ball. Martin Tucker had 4 attempts at a net of -3 yards. Terrence Coffey had 3 attempts, and he has a net of 11 yards. Josh Young had 3 attempts for -7. Those were sacks that he had. Jelani Neto had 2 for 24 yards, and Corvell Morgan had 2 for 10 yards. Rushing for Clyde, Michael Daniels on his pace. He had 17 attempts for a net of 97 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jaden Cook had 5 attempts, 4 yards, 1 touchdown. Jaron Bolger had 1 attempt for 3 yards, and A. Morrison had 1 for 1 yard. Passing, Jelani Neto for Start had 6 attempts, 3 completions, 2 interceptions. Josh Young, 5 attempts, 2 completions, 2 interceptions. Jaden Cook for Clyde had 9 completions on 15 attempts for 74 yards, 2 touchdowns. Receiving for Start, Corvell Morgan had 2 catches for 0 yards. Eden Dobson had 1 catch for -2 yards. Jaden Gillespie had 1 catch for 2 yards. Tim Davis had 1 catch for 11 yards. Pass receiving for Clyde, Brady Wilson had 5 catches, 67 yards. He's on his pace. Brady Wilson he has averaged 100 yards a game. Griffin Knopf has 2 catches for 5 yards, has 1 touchdown. Abe Morrison has 1 catch, 1 yard, 1 touchdown. And Dylan Overmeyer has 1 catch for 1 yard.
All right, thanks, Mike. So Clyde with the 4 interceptions. Dylan Overmeyer, 3rd play of the game, interception. Dylan Overmeyer recovered a fumble in the end zone. Dylan Overmeyer recovered the ensuing kickoff fumble. You've got an interception by Brady Wilson. You've got an interception by Miracle and an interception by Olson. So right now, Clyde has, I'd say they've devastated the Start Spartans. And let's go down to the sideline and get to comments from Brad Bannister. Brad?
Well, I saw Jaden Cook and Caden Olson out here throwing the ball. That's probably about as much of the action as they'll see this half. I think some of the crowd's starting to thin out a little bit, head home. They know this game's over. Probably listen to us on the radio, guys.
It could very well happen. And, of course, talking about the radio, we are happy to let everybody know that next week, I don't know if I'm happy about it or not, to be honest. We're going to see the same Start football team traveling to Bellevue. Bellevue's not going to be any easier. Start hopefully can learn, from where they're at. And they open up their first 5 games of the year are always on the road, and they struggled. And then they'll get into the Toledo City League and they'll win out. And so it's kind of like they're one of those teams that, things come and go. Right now, looking at Brady Wilson, he's done for the night. It looks like maybe he's got some ice on that shoulder. So his night is over, or maybe not. No, he does have a little ice on the shoulder, so he'll be done. I'm sure many of the Clyde players, their night will be done. We'll take a final timeout. We'll come back and give you some of the scoring and get ready to set up the second half. All Clyde so far here tonight. Stay tuned. We got a lot more action for you. You're listening to Fremont Federal Credit Union High School football here tonight on 92.1 The Wolf, part of the BAS Sports Network.
Hi, I'm Nick Cray, CEO of Fremont Federal Credit Union. We're proud to sponsor high school sports on Eagle 99, 92.1 The Wolf, and 100.9 Coast Country. Investing in our communities and our youth are what we're all about. Stop into any of our convenient offices or visit us online at fremontfcu.com to check out the credit union difference. We offer local decision-making on loans, making the process fast and easy for our members. Visit us today at fremontfcu.com. Membership eligibility required, federally insured by NCUA.
Everyday values are at only one place, Frickers. Monday, boneless frickin' chicken wings. Tuesday, traditional frickin' chicken wings. Wednesday is steak day. Thursday, frickin' chicken chunks. Frickers, where kids 10 and under eat free every day from the kids menu. Also remember draft beer specials, everyday value, and kids eat free every day. The home for money-saving value is the home for fun, food, sports, and spirits, Frickers.
Hello, it's Pete with Sunrise. Did you know propane is made in America? Yep, right here in the good old US of A. Just an interesting fact I wanted to share. Another fact I'd like to share is Sunrise has one of the largest storage capacity of propane in the state of Ohio. That's right, we have the propane to get our customers through the worst of times, plus some. To make sure you have the propane this heating season, call Sunrise. Sunrise Cooperative. Success grows here.
Get in the game at Fremont Athletic Supply in downtown Fremont. All right, what's your name?
Mackenzie Vela.
And what is your favorite sport?
Volleyball.
And why volleyball?
Because I like to serve and hit the ball.
Now, do you like playing basketball because of your dad?
I like it.
Did your dad ever coach you?
Yes.
And what do you like or dislike about him coaching you?
He yells at me.
Get in the game at Fremont Athletic Supply in downtown Fremont.
We're making the impossible possible. Join Stand Up to Cancer for one night. Tune in Saturday, August 21st at 8, 7 Central on ABC, CBS, Fox, and NBC.
Fremont Federal Credit Union High School Football. 92.1 The Wolf. 92.1 The Wolf, WOHF.
All right, welcome back. As both teams are on the field, we got a few minutes to go, so I'm going to give you the scoring, and there's been a lot of it. Unfortunately, none for the Start Spartans. Start got the ball to start the first half of play, got the ball to 32, ran a couple plays, got no yardage, threw an interception. Dylan Overmeyer with just under a minute gone in the football game. Clyde got the ball, and Overmeyer, by the way, intercepted at the Clyde side of the field and ran it all the way down to the 22-yard line to start. Clyde went 6 plays, 22 yards, and it was Daniels with a 5-yard run. Extra point was good. 9:52 to go in the first quarter. Clyde's up 7-0. Then Start got the ball. They ran 3 plays. Another interception. This time Brady Wilson got it, and he returned it all the way down to the 38-yard line of Start. Clyde went 5 plays, 38 yards at the 7:33 mark, so less than a minute from when they scored, or from when Wilson got the interception. They're in the end zone again. Daniels with a 6-yard run, so 2 touchdowns on the ground for Daniels. Start got the ball at the 50. Had their best run of the night. They ran 15 yards to the Clyde 35. Had a penalty, got them to the 30. 1 run to the 29, thrown back to the 30, then 32 yards, and then they turned over on downs at the 41. Clyde set them back and got the ball back at the 41, and Clyde had their longest offensive drive of the night. And it was a 14-play drive all the way down to the 11-yard line to start. They had a 4th down, and they did not convert. So Start got the ball at the 14, and they ran the ball backwards to the 10. And there was a high snap over the quarterback's head, fumbled around at the goal line. Dylan Overmeyer came in. He said, "I'd like to take that if I could, please." And he did score the touchdown with just 7 seconds into the first quarter, and it was Clyde 21-0. The ensuing kickoff by Clyde, it's fumbled on the ground. Here comes Dylan Overmeyer, again, an all-state selection potential linebacker on the special teams, recovers a fumble. So he covered one in the end zone, Mike, and then he got the next kickoff and got that fumble. Clyde gets the ball at the 38-yard line, and they go 6 plays. This time Morrison's a 1-yard pass from Cook, 28-0 Clyde. Start got the football at their own 34, pretty good field position, and they had a bad snap, and Clyde recovered that. Clyde got it to 17. And I don't have who recovered that punt on that bad snap. Or no, they just tackled them backwards. They did not lose the ball. But on downs, Clyde got it. And Clyde got the 17. They went 3 plays. Nuffs this time with a touchdown pass with 6:08 to go, 35-0. Start gets the ball at the 41. Another good return they had. They went backwards 1 play, went backwards another 3 yards, and then Miracle with an interception at the 4:52 mark. Clyde now goes 5 plays, 48 yards, and it was Cook with a 4-yard touchdown run at 3:21 to go to make it 42-0. And then start as they were driving down. And a nice scramble by the quarterback, and that was Isaiah Davis for start. Probably their biggest run from scrimmage all night long, the biggest play. But then Olsen got an interception in the end zone with 1:11 to go, and Clyde let the clock go out, guys. So this is going to be a running clock, so everybody knows. It will not stop except for, Mike, no timeouts, really. Or you can call a timeout. And they have to move the chains, maybe.
Change of possession.
Change of possession, that's correct.
Moving the change does not stop the clock.
Okay. So it should move by pretty quick. I'm sure that Fremont Ross is in a running clock mode. Bellevue's in a running clock mode. We've got about 7 games tonight that are all just, large leads that are going to have running clocks, which we think is beneficial. So we could say, did you see that 5 different times here for Clyde tonight? So just let you know that Did You See is brought to you by Eye Centers of Northwest Ohio. See 20/20 with a customized eye care plan at Eye Centers of Northwest Ohio. Sunrise Cooperative, well, they've donated. Clyde's got 7 touchdowns tonight so far. They've donated $700 to Fueling the Cure, and that's for food-based research at The Ohio State University for those afflicted with cancer. So congratulations to Sunrise. Congratulations to them on what they've done. So before we get started, let's go down and get a whole sheet metal game time temperature from Brad Bannister and get the conditions as we get ready for the second half of play, Brad.
Right now, we got about 6 degrees down here on the floor, on the field. Not much of a breeze, a slight one. Again, you mentioned the running clock. That's going to be a good thing for this game. On another note, looking over at the Veterans Wall, which is kind of new for this home game and everything, so many people have stopped by just to look, take a few pictures, and really, it's what this night's about. And it's nice to see everybody enjoying that feature here at the stadium.
All right, thanks so much, Brad. And in this ball game, I tell you what, so these halves can be very interesting, to say the least, because there's going to be a lot of guys that will be playing tonight, will be playing tomorrow, Mike, too.
Oh, yeah. And
so I've done that, and when when you do both, you're pretty tired. So here's a high kickoff, and Clyde's going to field it and walk out of bounds, and it looked like Plummer.
Yeah, that was not what he wanted to do. Obviously, he should have just let that go. It would have been out of bounds. It got it on the 35-yard line, but he fielded it and carried it out of bounds. So that's where they're going to start. I want to give Start a little break here, I guess.
And he's slowly jogging off the sideline, hoping that Coach Carter does not call him over.
Yeah, I do see Brennan Wilson, Brady Wilson's younger brother, running out onto the field.
All right, so 14, Brennan Wilson is going to be the quarterback. All right, so the freshman's getting the ball. So Clyde is saying, hey, listen, we're going to develop some of this young talent. And here we go. Let's hope he has some offensive linemen in there with him. So Wilson at quarterback. And it's hard to see who it is, so we're going to count on you, Brad. There's a high snap, but he does hand it off. And it's going to be up to about the 16-yard line. If you can, Brad,
I'll shoot you a number here if I see it. Yep.
Shoot us who the running back was.
It looks like 29 that carried the ball.
Okay, so that's going to be Clark Norman.
That's Blue Norman's younger brother.
So he gets it up to the 15. So there's a little bit of a fumble snap, and he gets it up just past the 15. It's going to be 2nd down and 7 at the 16-yard line. 2nd down and 7. 3 receivers on the near side. Don't see them throwing the football much here in this second half of play. But Wilson's going to roll his left. He is, and he's left-handed. He's going to throw it in. He's going to be complete. Letting you know, and we got a flag in the middle of the field, and we've got another penalty by Start as they just drilled the receiver for Clyde out of bounds for another personal foul.
Yeah, he not only took the receiver out, but he took a coach out as well. He went down.
Does that give you any kind of flashbacks, Mike?
I kind of had a chill right there. I had a little chill.
That was Javen Sheffield, the sophomore. I tell you what, I didn't know Wilson was left-handed. Tell you what, he threw a nice ball there.
He did throw a nice ball. But
so we're going to have offsetting penalties. Looks like a hold back down at the 20. Brad, could you run out in the field and just ask those guys what's going on?
Yeah, I could. It might speed things up a little bit.
Yeah. So he's pointing at Clyde. He says, you got a hold there. You got a personal foul over here. And I tell you what, that's the second time we've had Clyde players well out of bounds that got drilled by Start. Let's see what the officials are going to do.
He called offensive pass interference on Clyde.
Personal foul against Start. So they're gonna go ahead and mark it off against Clyde and then mark it back off against Start is what they're going to do. So it's a matter of math. And, of course, Brad Bannister, you are a mathematician. So why don't you tell us what the tail of the tape is? Look, it's going to be Clyde's ball, 1st and 10 at the 25 when it's all said and done.
Yeah, it looks like you said, they pushed it back a little bit and brought it forward. I'm actually a little bit confused by what they did there. I know the personal foul is a dead ball foul.
Right.
So that would maybe be why they proceeded that way.
All right, so 1st and 10, Clyde at the 25. 10-23 counting up 42-0 here. And, again, we've got all sorts of young players in the backfield for Clyde. It looks like we'll see a start. It looks like they have a lot of their starters still in the ball game.
They do.
All right, so it looks like Norman's a running back. He's going to get the handoff. He's going to get in the middle. He's going to cut back to the other side. He's going to keep his feet moving. He gets to the outside, and he'll get a first down. He'll get the ball all the way up here to the 37-yard line. Boy, I tell you what, that was a great cutback that time by Clark Norman.
Yeah, that line that's out there right now, that is not the starting lineup. And they were able to get that little crease, and he found that hole.
Pickup of 14, moving right to left. Clyde with the ball here in the third quarter of play. And it looks like there's a couple of key receivers still out there. Again, note Andrew Cobble's still in the ball game. And we'll start to pull them out as we can. It's very difficult to see these new Clyde jerseys with the white numerals because of the camouflage type feel to them. Another high snap, and they'll get the handoff again. And Norman, he's going to get by one. He's at the 45 and the 40. He's down the sideline. He stiff arms. Oh, he said, welcome to Clyde, Corvell Morgan, as he stiff armed the defender down to the ground as he went out of bounds. Another huge run to the 45, and that's going to be a pickup of 16 for Norman.
Yeah.
My goodness.
And Corvell Morgan, he's a starter.
Yeah.
He's a starter that
he got man hand.
Norman just put his hand right in his chest and pushed him down to the ground.
Boy, all those Normans got a little bit of a motor, don't they?
I'm guessing. My goodness. So Clyde's going to send two to the right side. No Kyle Floring's out there. And also it looks like Nuff is still out. Here's a handoff to Norman again. He tries to get by one. He cuts back again. Here he goes at the 40, at the 30, at the 25, at the 20, and finally gets tackled down to the 16-yard line. And right now, Clyde saying, where did this guy come from? So a Clyde running back situation, not only with Miracle, who would normally be in here, Norman, a sophomore, he's a quick decision maker, Mike.
Yeah, Jaden Gillespie, I tell you, he took a hit. Norman just lowered his shoulder, and Gillespie, who is a junior, he did not want to get up very quick after Norman hit him.
So Norman's going to pick up almost 30 on this. So we're going 30, 15. I mean, he's got 50 yards in this ball game so far, maybe more than that. So going right to left, Clyde now inside the Fremont floor covering red zone. Wilson at quarterback, snap. Norman cuts to the middle. And this time they stack him up, and he goes nowhere. They're going to give him forward motion and give him a yard to the 16-yard line. And it will be a pickup of one. It'll be 2nd down and 9.
That was very similar to the last play, but the last play he was able to bounce it to the outside. This time they were able to come up and keep him contained inside, so he did not get that corner.
So this clock is moving here. 17 seconds on the play clock. We're already down the 7:09 mark. Clyde just running the football and running that clock. 3 receivers to the far side. And here comes Wilson. He's back to throw the left-hander. He's just going to throw a little possession pass. It's going to be caught. Down to about the 10.
Caught by number 18.
All right, so catching that ball was Cole Schwoko, a junior. So nice job. And Wilson, again, a left-hander, so now we can see he's going to favor that left side a little bit, but he threw it well. Nice possession pass, Mike. You'd expect to see a freshman be able to do that.
Yeah, sure, and the defensive backs are still giving him a little bit of cushion. I'm not sure exactly why they're giving a cushion because they're the starting defensive backs.
This is starting defense.
Absolutely.
And you would think Start would maybe develop the program and get some other players in there, Mike. But right now, I guess on the road, They're going to give it to Norman. Norman's going to get hit, and this time he gets stacked up. They stunted right up the middle. There was nowhere for him to go. He's going to lose a few yards back to the 13.
Yeah, Champ Sobrowski was able to come in from his linebacker spot to make that stop, and they were shooting him right there, right into that hole.
4th down and 3, and here comes the kicking unit. Clyde's going to attempt a field goal. Not seen one from there this year. The ball's at the 13, so they're going to spot it. Should spot it back about the 20. Let's see where they're going to spot it at. No, he's going to set it at the 18. It's going to be a 28-yard field goal attempt. And let's see if they can get that to happen. McCoy Dickman. Bad snap. And with it, they're just going to go. Olsen's just going to take it and chuck it out as a bad pass, and that's it. Ball never got back to him in time. So that's the first mistake Clyde has had tonight, and it will be Start getting the football back in their own territory. This time they're going to get the ball in probably the worst field position that it had tonight, and they'll start at the 20. So 42-0, 5:25 to go. We'll take a timeout here. It's Clyde all on top. We'll be back after this on the BAS Sports Network.
The holidays will be here before you know it. Are you and your home ready for hosting all that extended family, extended meals, and extended wear and tear on your floors? Get ahead of the holiday hustle. Right now at Lottich & Sons Flooring America, it's the family-friendly flooring sale. Save big before the holidays and get special financing. Shop in-store and online. When it comes to flooring, trust the place where friends send friends. Lottich & Sons Flooring America, 702 Stone Street in Fremont. Subject to credit approval, minimum monthly payments required. See store for details. Miller Super Value in Clyde is the place to shop for great savings on groceries. Each week, hundreds of items are discounted to help you save even more. Check out their expanded meat department. For a great supper, shop Miller's extensive deli for fried chicken, wings, great salads, and side dishes. Taken Big Pizza and fresh daily sushi are now available. Miller Super Value, your hometown grocery, is proud of our Clyde Flyers. Go Flyers!
Fremont Federal Credit Union High School Football. 92-1 the Wolf, WOHF.
As we get back to action here, first play from scrimmage is going to be the quarterback, Isaiah Davis. He's going to roll left. He fumbles the ball, and they fall on top of it, nearly giving the ball back to Clyde again. This time it's going to be the quarterback keeper running the side. Davis with it. He's at the 15 to 20. Puts his head down. No, back into the ball game is going to be Josh Young. So Josh Young is going to get the football and is going to get a first down for Start at the 23-yard line. Pickup of 12.
That was Grant Hartshorn who made that tackle.
Supply with the whole second unit in there on the defensive side too. 4:20 to go. Still 42-0. So Young started the game. He was in there, and now he's back to quarterback. So they're going to go ahead and shift things around. Start's going to work on some things. 2 receivers each side moving left to right, and Clyde's going to go ahead and jump. So that's been the third offsides by Clyde defensively, and that's going to move the ball up and make it first down and 5 up to the 28-yard line. So that's a thing to clean up for the Flyers.
Yeah, they had 2 offside penalties last half, and so that gives them 3.
Guys, if I interview Coach Carter, I'll address that with him. How can he fix that piece up of the game?
3:35 to go here in third. Back to throw is Young. He's looking. He's going deep across the middle. It's going to be caught. Nearly intercepted, but it's going to be a pitch and catch for a first down to the 50-yard line. And I can't see who the defender was, but a ball went right through his hands to the offensive player. And it'll be first and 10 at the 50, a pickup of 22 for Start. So here come the Start Spartans with a little energy.
Yeah, that was Adam Cobble that just barely got his fingers on that ball.
So our quarterback, Josh Young, the running back is Martin Tucker. He's a senior. He lines up right behind Young. And they're going to hand off to Tucker up the middle. Nope, they're going to quarterback keep, and he's going to run into a Clyde wall. That's a fake handoff. He's going to play action roll to his right, nowhere to go. He'll pick up a half a yard to the 49-yard line. It'll be second down, and we'll say 9. 2:39 and counting here in this third quarter. Guys, you got to remember when the play clock is running, there's only so much of a possession. You might get 2 possessions in the half, and that might be it.
And Start is taking quite a bit of time to get the plays in, too.
Yeah.
So obviously they're in no big hurry.
So a younger quarterback moving left to right, just about at midfield. There's the snap. He's dropping straight back. He's looking across the middle. He's going to throw it deep. He's got a guy wide open, and it's going to be caught, and it's going to be a touchdown. So the defensive backs got burnt, and it's end zone touchdown. Gideon Dobson Jr., wide receiver senior, gets the touchdown, and they are on the board. 49-yard touchdown pass. And he got it, and two defenders were there, Mike, but neither one had an idea where the ball was.
No, they kind of lost the ball in the air. And another thing that allowed that to happen is that they've got a whole new defensive line in, and it wasn't not a whole lot of pressure on Young when he delivered that ball, was able to get it all the way down the field.
So Start is going to line up for their extra point, and they're running people on the field right now. Looks like there's a little bit of confusion, to say the least. Young is on the field, so obviously they're going to go for two. And let's see what happens.
They're
going to kick it. Okay, so they have a kicker in there, and this is going to be Gavin Hall. And the kick is up, and the kick is good. All right, so your in-game scoreboard brought to you by Fremont Athletic Supply. Start on the board. Clyde 42, Start 7. We'll just keep it right here. So the extra point was good, and a little bit of a busted defensive coverage, Mike. You're going to expect that when you've got, your second and third unit in, and they're playing in the Friday Night Lights, and you're playing against what are these start? Are they Division what?
They're Division 1.
Division 1. So you're playing against a Division 1 squad right now, and that is what happens. So now let's see what Coach Carter wants to get out of his offense. I'm sure he'd like another long drive if he could.
Yeah, and take a lot of time off that clock. But one thing, like kind of alluded to, there was not a whole lot of pressure, and that's something that Start had been dealing with all game long. It's a pressure, and neither one of the quarterbacks had any time to throw the ball early on. And that time, he had the time to be able to drop back, find his receiver, and he kind of got lost in the secondary and not knowing where that ball's at because you got your head turned the wrong way. But that's something they'll learn. They'll get it. That's why they're out here right now, and that's why they're going to play tomorrow.
All right. So it will be Clyde getting the ball back. Their second possession of the half. They're up 42-7. Of course, they don't want another Start score because we can go back to regular time. So let's see what they do. Nice kickoff. Going to be fielded at the 11 to the 15 to the 20. Sidestepping one defender, spinning around and getting the ball up to, getting hit hard, getting up to about the 25-yard line, the Clyde return man. Clyde will have it 1st and 10 at the 25. Brad Bannister again. If you've got your binoculars on, you'll have to keep an idea for us who's on the field right now.
I will do anything for you, John.
Well, I appreciate that. It's not for me, though. It's for the parents at home that are listening to their kids that want to be able to say, hey, my kid's in the game right now. It's awesome. Or a family member to per se. So Wilson should be back in at quarterback would be my guess. He had a good first possession, good first drive for Clyde. He had the ball at the 13 and went all the way down to the 13-yard line of Start. Yeah. So, I mean, that's a pretty good possession by your second, third-string quarterback. So we'll see who's in the ball game now. My guess is Miracle's in the ball game right now. And Wilson looking to throw. He's going to throw it right here. It's going to be caught. Little possession pass. It's only going to be for a few yards. I got that ball to, see who that was for Clyde. That was Bryson Patenko. So it'll be a pass about 4 yards. It'll be second down, and we'll call it a long 6.
No, Wilson's doing a nice job because they're coming up the middle pretty hard on him and being able to roll out and throw the ball, deliver that ball on the run.
Yeah, he's gone favor the left each time. So Wilson back at quarterback, quick snap, hands off to Miracle. Miracle's going to get hit, and he'll probably get nothing there. Again, you got to remember, these are second and third teamers in on the line, so they're not getting the kind of push that they're used to. Miracle, pretty strong runner. It'll be for no gain.
And it looks like Start still has their starters in the front.
Majority of them.
They do.
Yeah. And they've got, almost everybody on the line right now are numbers that we've got recognized here. Burnside's in there. Also, Morgan's in there. Corvell Morgan, the defensive back. So, you're a JV sub and you're playing a varsity game against D1 starters.
Yeah.
That's a little wake-up call. And let's see how Wilson handles it. He's going to hand it off, and it's going to be up here and trying to get outside his Norman. No, Miracle or Norman. Let's see which end it is.
It looks like Miracle.
Yep, and he gets stood up back to the 15, or 25, so it's going to be a loss of 4. And what do we have? That's the end of the third quarter. Okay, we're going into quarter number 4, 42-7, Clyde on top. We'll be back with the fourth quarter of action here on 92-1 The Wolf.
ACJ Overhead Door of Fremont are your installation and service experts, specializing in both residential and commercial garage doors and operators. Don't risk trying to do the repairs yourself, especially when it comes to broken springs. Let the professionals at ACJ take care of that for you. If you're looking to upgrade your garage door, ACJ offers a full line of doors from economy to premium to fit any budget, with free estimates on installation. ACJ Overhead Door, serving Sandusky and surrounding counties. For more information, call 419-341-6586 or online at acjoverheaddoor.com.
Taking care of each other is what community is all about. That's a priority at Hanneman Chudzinski Keller Funeral Home. For over a century, they've proudly served the Fremont community and surrounding area with personal, compassionate care. They're dedicated to helping families create personalized, meaningful final tributes to honor your loved one's life. For information, call or visit HannemanFH.com. Hanneman Chudzinski Keller Funeral Home. They've expanded their family to better serve yours.
Fremont Federal Credit Union High School Football. 92-1 The Wolf. 92-1 The Wolf, WOHF.
All right, back to action. Clyde's got a 4th and 10 at their own 25, and they're going to go for it. That's asking an awful lot of the freshman quarterback. 2 receivers to each side. Here comes a man in motion. And we're going to penalty. Nope, they're going to say illegal procedure by Clyde. They put the man in motion. Did you see that, Brad, at all?
I did not see any motion at all.
No, I didn't either. Now it's going to be 4th and 15. And Coach Carter's got some decisions to make. Maybe we're going to do a pooch punt or a fake punt here. They're going to send somebody back, and that's going to be Martin Tucker, and he's got wheels, and he will be back. And he's going to kick it. Nice high kick. He's going to fair catch it at the 45 of Clyde, so they do punt the football. So we know that Wilson, the backup quarterback, can punt the football. Left footer. They're going to have it at Clyde's 44. Kind of important for the Clyde defense to hold right now.
Yeah, with what they were able to do with their last possession, being able to chuck that ball down the field without having a whole lot of pressure.
Right.
They Clyde defensive line going to have to change some things up here.
I see some players in the backfield. There's a safety back in there, Jackson Dashner. We're looking at some of the numbers here. They're keeping their first teamers in start. So Start's got 2 receivers at each side. Let's see what they do. Here comes a man in motion. That's Morgan. He's going to end around here. He's going to get through the end. He's going to bounce to the outside, but they're going to go ahead and set him back. And I tell you what, defensive play. I'd say this might be the defensive play of the night coming as Morgan's getting ready to turn the corner. I'm not sure who's the bottom off that pile. Well, let's look and see if I can get the number.
It's hard to see that number. I think that's Cade Carroll.
Is there a number 5?
Yep, that's Cade Carroll.
All right, Cade Carroll, I'll tell you what he did. He went back and set him back for a loss of 5 yards back to the 47. What a big play.
Came all the way from that right defensive end.
He did. Well, back to almost the 40, yeah, about the 48 almost. That's a loss of 4. 2nd down and 14. Back to throw is Young. He's stepping. He's going for a home run ball. He's got a guy wide open. It's going to be nice defensive play. Coming from the backside, Jackson Dasher. We just talked about him, a freshman. He comes from the safety position. Played it well, Mike.
He did play it well.
Come over and got a hand on it. Otherwise, that was a touchdown.
Oh, yeah. He was running wide open. Maybe, got up there and knocked it down. That's a good thing he did knock it down, because if he'd have knocked it up in the air, that could have been a big reception. But good job of knocking it down. Maybe get 2 hands on it. Also could have picked that off.
That freshman in the ball game, he'll remember that play.
Absolutely.
3rd down and 14. Clock stopped at 9. No, it's not. 9:25 and counting. 42-7. Clyde on top. Let's see what Young does. He's looking to throw. Now he's looking down the middle again. He's in trouble. Throws across the middle. It's going to be caught and getting stopped and dropped. They will get the first down as they get the ball to Jaden Gillespie. Gillespie gets it to the 31. Pickup of 17. 1st and 10. Here comes Start.
Yeah, Coach Schwokel was able to come up and make that stop.
So Young padding the stats right now.
And that'll cost another 5. So that's going to be 4 encroachment penalties for Clyde right now.
So everybody thinks of things they can learn from in the ball game. And of course, Brad Bannister, you can talk to Coach Carter and be real honest. I wouldn't bring it up. I'd just say, hey, what do you think you can work on from a game like this? I think I know what the answer is going to be.
We hope that would be his answer, right?
Yeah, but there might be something else that he feels about. So it's going to be on the 26-yard line, 1st and 5. Here goes Young back. He steps. He's going to throw it across the middle. It's going to be caught with the ball at the 10, at the 5, and walking in the end zone with the touchdown is Corvell Morgan.
See, and I thought the official could have easily thrown a holding call back there, that flag. I mean, I thought it was pretty obvious.
All right, so Clyde 42 Start with 2 scores here in the second half of play.
You can see what Start can do when they get a little bit of time back in for the quarterback. He can pick some things apart, but
this running clock is going to stop.
It is
in the next possession.
Yep.
So coming in for the extra point. Of course, again, in a game like this, you kind of would expect something like this to happen. You wouldn't want it, but everybody makes their choices on their substitutions the way they do. Left-footed kicker in. There's a snap. There's a hold. The kick is up, and the kick is going to be good. All right, so our score now 42-14. Clyde on top. We're back to regular clock play. Flyers will get the ball, and the ensuing kickoff. We'll take a timeout here. 8:16 to go in this one. Clyde and Command will be back after this.
Hi, I'm Nick Cray, CEO of Fremont Federal Credit Union. We are proud to sponsor high school sports on Eagle 99, 92.1 The Wolf, and 100.9 Coast Country. Stop into any of our convenient locations to check out the credit union difference. We offer checking account options with lots of perks, all with a free debit card, free online banking, and mobile access with the convenience of nationwide shared branching. Investing in our communities and our youth are what we're all about. Visit us today at fremontfcu.com. Membership eligibility required, federally insured by NCUA.
PT Services, your premier hometown therapy provider, is now open at 1800 West State Street in Fremont, Ohio. Their clinic offers physical, occupational, and speech therapies, along with specialized wellness programs that focus on the health and well-being of our community. They work hard to offer individualized care that helps you achieve your rehabilitation and wellness goals. Ask your doctor to send you to PT Services Rehabilitation, providing individualized care to give you excellence in motion. For more information, visit them at ptsrehab.com.
Fremont Federal Credit Union High School Football. 92.1 The Wolf. 92.1 The Wolf, WOHF.
All right, it is the Start Spartans. They score both possessions this half, first in the third quarter. They went 2, 4, 6. They went 7 plays, 89 yards. Dobson with a 49-yard touchdown pass and cut it to 42-7. They come back and they go 5 plays and they go 56 yards and a 26-yard pass to Morgan. And we're scored 42-14 here tonight at Clyde, and they're getting ready to get the kickoff. Looks like we've got some subs in now for Start. The ball's loose on the ground. It's going to be picked up by Clyde, just falling down with it. Will be the Flyers, and they'll have it 1st and 10. And the ball will be spotted at the 27-yard line. And this is what I would expect to be the remainder of this ball game, a JV contest.
Yeah, it looks like Start now is subbing some players in. So there's some numbers out there that we have not seen. Well, but they still got some out there, though.
No, they got their first team defense in.
Yeah, they do.
They want to get the ball back and score again. You don't want to go back to Toledo and say I got beat 42-0 at Clyde.
No, they're going to say
right. 42-21. All right, so here we go. Wilson with the football. He ends off, and Norman gets it. He'll just run forward. For a pickup of about a yard, I would say. Clark Norman of Southmore, 5'9", 180.
And he runs hard. He's a good, hard runner. And was able to get to the outside. Right now, they're just kind of pinching everything down. That defensive line, which they're outsizing the Clyde offensive line by quite a bit right now.
So Brad Bannister, right now it looks a little bit, if you look at the size of the two teams on the field, it's like a first-team D1 defense against, it looks like a freshman squad.
Yeah, it's definitely a little bit of a mismatch, and I think you can sense a little bit of frustration over here on the Clyde sideline.
Yep.
Like, we could have put 80 up on you guys, and now you're gonna kind of pull this, and it's just one of those things. I think that's kind of an agreement amongst coaches that you just usually, when you call the dogs off, you say thank you, and you in return kind of do your part.
Well, I tell you what, it's been a pretty interesting ball game to say the least here tonight.
That was all Clyde Flyers that first half and into the first part of the, Clyde, that JV team did get the ball all the way down to the 13.
They went from the 13 to 13. And while we're waiting on this timeout by Clyde, let's go ahead and get you updated. And we might even have some finals depending. Port Clinton 61-12 over Bowser in the fourth quarter. Bellevue 48-7 over Clear Fork in the fourth. Padua 17-10 over Sandusky. Fremont Ross 48-14. Maybe they're seeing the same situation we are here. Columbian 40-10 over Mayfield. Oak Harbor 41-0 over Woodward. Norwalk beats Edison 20-13. Margaret Ottawa Hills. Boy, it was 14-14. It's 28-28 late in the ball game. So Wilson at quarterback. He's looking. He's going to throw it down here. Boy, it's a little bit of a wobbly one. And it's going to be, they're going to call pass interference here.
And who they're going to call that on?
Be real interesting. Let's go down to Brad Bannister and get his thoughts on this. They're going to say pass interference.
Yep, they're going to say it on Toledo Start.
Well, you know what, guys? That was a bad call.
Yeah, Jaden Gillespie was right there. They're both fighting for the ball. And, that ball, that was a duck that just got shot wobbling through the air. And they both were going for it. So that's hard to call that.
Yeah, I think that was anybody's ball, Mike, really,
Absolutely.
to be honest. And so they're going to call pass interference. And so that may be a bit of a makeup call. I'm not sure. But either way, it's going to move the ball all the way up to the 41 so Clyde can breathe a little bit. It'll be first down and 10 at their own 41, moving left to right with 7:21 to go on this clock in this ball game. Again, Clyde, next week, Mike, we don't have them. Well, who do they have next week? I will tell you here in a second.
Toledo
Scott. Toledo Scott. And Scott's 3-0. Handoff up the middle of Norman, and this time he blows off right guard, and he picks up about 7 all the way to the 48-yard line. So, Scott right now is 3-0. We don't have a score for them tonight. But that's not going to be an easy game for them either, and that is at Scott. Second down and a long 3. 6:53 and counting. Clyde up on top, 42-14. And the Flyers with 2 on each side. Wilson getting some nice reps here. Hands off to Norman. Norman gets a blow up the middle. He's going to get the first down. Tell you what, Clyde found something. There's a conversation that was held by somebody. Did Clyde substitute in that offensive line at all, Brad? It looks to me maybe they did.
John, when I just look, I don't see a lot of the original starters out there, no.
Okay.
Now, they might have made us change, though. I'm trying to see. I do see maybe a little bit bigger up front.
Yeah, it looks to me like some other players have come in. So, Wilson, what do you think about his plays, Mike?
Oh, I think he's
Freshman
doing fine.
gets some first reps in the ball game.
That last pass that he threw kind of probably slipped off his hand a little bit. He had a little bit of pressure.
Yep. 3 receivers in the near side, 1 on the slot in the far left. Wilson looks, he's handed it, going to flare a pass out here. It's going to be caught. Nice stop and go. Nice job getting the ball across the 40 down to about the 39. That was a nice pitch and catch. And I tell you what, handling that ball, I like it when they can do those little stop moves, Mike, where they just go ahead and get it and go. And it won't be a first down for Clyde at all. But nice job out there, and that's by Javen Sheffield of Southmore. It's be second down and another long 3. So another big 7-yard first down play for Clyde. Right down to the 40. Norman in the backfield. He gets it. He looks for a hole. He bounces to the outside, puts his head down, and they kind of corral him. But I think he's very close to the first down. Let's go down to Brad Bannister. Brad.
John, we're looking like we're going to be about a yard short here, but good effort by Clark Norman.
Yeah, that's one thing that Clark does a real nice job of. He gets into the line and then bounces it out to try to get those extra yards. If there's nothing in there, he's got some pretty
Keep his
decent
feet moving.
Yep.
Mike, I also noticed too, as a young running back, once he gets into contact, he puts both hands around the ball. He's not going to fumble that football. So it's going to be third down and very short, 5:24 and counting, 42-14 Clyde with the lead, and it's going to be a fumble, and it might be a fumble for a first down.
Yeah, I think.
If they put Wilson up under center.
Yeah, they're going to call that fourth down.
They are. Boy, it looked to me like the ball was on the ground. He lunged forward to get it, so it'll be 4th and 1 at the 38. Got to get down to the 37, so no gain.
You're asking a lot out of that younger Clyde offensive line to go against these big guys for a start on that defensive line to try to, just push them forward because they're not moving out of the way very far.
Mike, they always say that if you want to get better, you got to play people better than you.
Yeah, they're definitely doing that right now.
Yes, they are. And we're going to have a stoppage of play. It's going to be a Wendy's timeout. We'll take a timeout here. 4:37 to go in this one. Clyde with the ball in command. We'll be back after this.
I loved playing high school sports. I loved the competition, the camaraderie, the bands, the crowds, all the pageantry, and I wanted to keep playing. But I graduated. No colleges called, and neither did the pros. So, to stay close to the game I loved, I decided to become a high school official. A referee. When I played high school sports, I learned the importance of integrity, good sportsmanship, and respect for the rules. Now, as a high school official, I get to help model these same values to others. Maybe the colleges and the pros didn't call, but the kids in Ohio did. And now, I'm enjoying the competition, the camaraderie, the bands, the crowds, and all the pageantry of high school sports all over again.
Interested in becoming a licensed high school official? Go to highschoolofficials.com to learn more and begin the application process.
Fremont Federal Credit Union High School Football. 92-1 the Wolf. 92-1 the Wolf, WOHF.
All right, back to action. Clyde goes with the 4th and 1. They give to their quarterback, Wilson. He fakes to the center, gets to the outside, and gets the first down. Nice adjustment by the freshman quarterback for Clyde down to the 36-yard line. 1st and 10, another set of downs for the Flyers. 4:25 and counting here in this one. Of course, we were at a running clock through the 3rd quarter, but after that score in the 4th quarter, by start, we came back to regular time, and here's where we're at. 2 receivers on the far side. Moving left to right is Clyde. Again, Brennan Wilson at quarterback. High snap, and he gives off to Norman. Norman spins and keeps his feet moving. Norman fights hard down to about the 32. I will tell you this, as Brad Bannister, you had said it. Let's check out Norman's size. Norman is 5'9", 180, and he's a bit of a fire plug once he gets the ball.
Yeah, when he gets it, he makes a decision, and he goes with it, and he gives it everything he has. So, like I said, being a brother of Blue Norman, too, Blue plays like that as well. He's just aggressive, and he's 100% all the time, and Clark's the same.
Maybe they want to give Blue a handoff here and there once in a while just to reward him.
Have him on each side of the quarterback.
Yeah,
Blue on one side, Clark on the other.
Double Norman. All right, so 2 receivers, 2 to each side, They give to Norman up the middle. He keeps his feet moving. He'll get to the 30. And they'll maybe give him forward progress down to the 29 and pick up of 3. It's going to be 3rd down, and we'll call a long 3. And we are at 3:05 to go in this one.
With Michael Daniels being a senior this year, they got a pretty good stable with Norman and Miracle at running backs for, the next couple years.
Yeah, Clyde, it's all homegrown here. Not hardly any. I can't remember very few transfers ever playing football in the school system. You grew up in Clyde, you're pretty much a Clyde Flyer football player unless you just really don't want to play football. And That's helpful. We got receivers now to the far side. There's 3 of them out there. Even Braden Olson, another freshman out there. Norman up the middle. He spins and fires down. And I tell you what, Brad Panther looks like to me like he got another first down.
Well, one's spotting it as a first down. One's calling it short. So we're going to see. No, they're going to call it a first down.
Yeah, they should.
Nope.
No, boy, you know what? The one official moved it back.
Yeah, he did.
Coach Carter throws his hands up in the air. Was not happy with that spot. So it's going to be 4th down and short again. Coach Carter, he is visibly frustrated with the way this 4th quarter has played out. No doubt about it.
The width of a hash mark, it's about half of a hash mark. That's all he's short by.
And he moved it back that far. All right, so under 2 minutes and counting. You know what? Coach is going to take another timeout. He didn't want the clock to go down and get a penalty, and he's going to talk about it. Let's talk about what we've seen so far out of this Clyde football team. You know, they lost that first week on the road up at St. Francis, but they played pretty well since and beat Ashland. Won last week. They're going to win here again. They've got maybe a bit of a challenge against Toledo Scott next week. Then they've got Perkins, Columbian back-to-back, right? And so you're going to see a little bit from that on where things are at. Then they've got Sandusky on the road. Columbian and Sandusky both on the road. And they finished then the season with Norwalk and Bellevue. So with the 16-team playoff position, Mike, we talked about this, or Brad and I did earlier. You could probably go 5-5 and still make the playoffs in these regions.
Oh, yeah.
And with playoff games. So it's going to be really interesting how it will play off this year. And let's see what Clyde does. They don't have him up under center. They have Wilson back at the 30. He's got to get to the 25. Handoff. Norman, head down. And he does not get it, or does he?
They're going to give it, based on the spot here, they're going to give it to him.
All right, this judge is going to get it because, again, where is he? He's on the near hash. And they will give it to him. I tell you what, if they got it by about, the width of a football. 1st and 10, Clyde at the 25. So you got to give the Flyers a little credit. Of course, obviously, start keeping their starters in. So Clyde gets their first unit, second and third team unit in there. Look what happens. They go from the 13 to 13 in one possession. Then they did have a penalty, which set them back, and they punted. And this possession right here, 1, 2, 3, about 15 plays. Started their own 27. They're down to the 25, and they're just going to take knees and time it out.
Well, they're going to take a penalty first, I believe. The play clock ran out, I believe.
So this Flyer team playing against the D1 first teamers, and their second units come in, and I think that their second unit earned something here tonight, Mike, and I think they definitely learned something. And it's invaluable.
Yeah.
It's invaluable to get this experience.
Yeah, I think more than anything, they learned something.
Right. So the Flyers are going to win this one. And guess what? Wilson gets to take victory snaps, or they Cook. Oh, Cook's going to get the victory snaps tonight.
They got the whole starting crew back in.
Ah, yeah. Yeah. Coach Carter decided to send a little message here late in the ball game too, didn't he? All right, so this one's over. Your final here tonight, Clyde 42. And it's going to be Start 14. Stay tuned with our post-game show after this. You've been listening to Fremont Federal Credit Union High School football here tonight, live on 92.1 The Wolf, part of the BAS Radio Network.